Jeff and I were talking. I'm okay with playing 2 characters. I just don't. My main concern is I don't want to take away from anybody else. That would mean I have 2 turns in combat, things like that. And I just kind of wanted to get y'all's opinions on whether you're okay with that or not. Because if you're not, then like I have another idea. But
I
for the time
vehemently
being,
have no objections.
Only if 90% of your dialogue is to yourself.
it is most of the time. Just so you know.
Yeah, as long as you don't get bogged down and feel kind of overwhelmed doing it, you know, whatever. I think it's as long as the flow of the game's good, it's good.
And that's the main thing is I know that I can pick my actions in battle quickly unless I get a fucking curveball thrown at me and somebody does something crazy. But yeah, I don't want to take time away from anybody else. And it's me sitting there with 2 turns in a row potentially.
I mean, I can cast
Mercer.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Mercer was brought back to us by fate, and if you're cool playing two PCs, so am I. Until we split up or if somebody dies, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, like I cast Conjure Animals, and suddenly I'm running like 16 things in a fucking set combat. So you just kind of, yeah, it's just me. Yeah, so it's fine. I think we all have our kind of levels of complication.
Yep.
I didn't want to make that decision for, without talking to anybody else. So yeah.
I'm just gonna keep stabbing.
Summarizing last session, lots happened, as I guess always happens. But you all ventured up to the Abbey after pulling Irina's charred body out of the pool in Kresk. You immediately went up to the Abbey and demanded to speak to the abbot, who not reluctantly, but who kind of came out after a few moments and decided to discuss a number of different things with you, including where Barovia fits in the world, where he's come from, and obviously walking you through a lot of the experiments that he's been doing under the Morning Lord's guidance. You decided against bringing back Irina, which is when Strahd appeared with or at least so you thought, a hostage in tow. That hostage turned out to be nothing more than an illusion similar to what you had seen previously in Castle Ravenloft when you came across Strahd's illusion as well. After trying to burn the body of Irina before Strahd could get its hands on her, Strahd, as well as the abbot, disappeared into the dining room where, while you were all fighting bats and fighting amongst yourselves, the unfortunate happened, and Irina was revived and brought back. And before even having a chance to say a word, basically atop his horse, he set out through the clouds with Irina in tow. And the next day, you received a wedding invitation for approximately 20 days' time. You all shared a very comfortable meal. When Mercer finally arrived through the heavy storm, clearly unscathed, but something in Barovia has changed since his senses, his North Star, as Sid would call it, was not guiding him in the right direction, and it made the journey from Vallaki to Kresk even longer. You shared stories of hope, of loss, as well as of the light that is still yet to be found. And through all of that, I think most of you realize that now more than ever, allies, powerful artifacts are definitely needed in this fight against the tyrant. In the morning, as you all wake up, you realize that Dimitri, as well as some of the other townsfolk within Kresk, have also received the same wedding invite. And that's when you're at kind of a crossroads, a decision to make on where the group will go next. And just as a reminder, from a quest perspective, Esmeralda is yet to come back to you. She had set off and left. You're not exactly sure where she is. The light across the lake has faded out. There is still the Tome of Strahd left to decipher. There are what you believe to be the second and third fortune of Ravenloft that are still yet to be found, as well as the gems for the winery, and outside of that, the journey to the Amber Temple. And that's where I'm going to leave you all at the crossroads with some decisions to make on what you would like to do.
Can we just real quick? Can we run long rests?
Yep, I'll do that on my end.
Okay.
Just to. So
and
go ahead and chat.
I have plenty of healing spells if people. I think I already changed some of my spells. But,
Merek, you're muted.
Didn't take any damage that last.
Okay.
We have the meal that gives us all our hit dices back. Remember, unless you pretty much use all of them.
I think it was extra hit dice.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, it gives extra hit dice. So.
Oh, and my buff.
Give me 1 second here from a health perspective.
That's right. I forgot about your buff.
Mercer's blessing.
Yeah, let's chat quickly about that. Do you want to tell them, John? It was your idea. I approve of the message.
Once a day on your own inspiration, you get advantage on inspiration.
Damn.
Okay. Yeah.
But it does not work so. If I decide to roll my inspiration, and I want to re-roll it again, I can do that. But say I roll my inspiration and I don't like it, but someone says you can take mine, I don't get advantage on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And then if you give up your inspiration, then of course you lose the advantage on that inspiration roll as well. It only works for your own inspiration if you roll it yourself.
So now no one's going to give each other inspiration. I'm just kidding.
But you don't really need to do that anymore. So that kind of helps balance it out where everybody can keep their inspiration because you get a secondary chance.
Yeah.
Still leaves it up to the dice and, instills that sense of hope. What I was trying to go for.
Inspire self.
Inspire yourself.
And just because I know this exact situation is going to come up, if I give away my inspiration without the chance to use my...
you do not keep the blessing.
That's exactly perfect. You
So
forfeit your blessing when you give away your inspiration.
Ooh, I get 5 uses of bardic inspiration now.
You do.
Nice.
So what would you all like to do?
I would like to get my passive before you forget, Jeff. My new passive.
Oh yeah, I have to roll my elixirs
What?
too.
What's your new passive?
The eyebrow passive.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You got your eyebrows back?
Nope. I'm getting a passive because I don't have any eyebrows right now.
Whoa.
All children
to persuasion checks.
All children within 15 feet of you get the fear status.
1 second here. I'm just adjusting this, and then good to go. But go ahead and talk amongst yourselves, and where would you like to head next?
I believe unless we change our idea, we were talking about going to the mountain pass. There were 2 things we were going to do. We were going to kind of head for the Hags, but also send word. I was going to send an animal messenger word to Casimir that we were headed to the mountain in case he wanted to meet up and join us for the Amber Temple. Because I believe those are the same direction based on our understanding. That's kind of where we left it, I think, but whatever you guys want.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
what we were discussing at the end of the session, and I still feel that that's the best move.
I gotta go get food from the doorway, but that was, yeah.
So Jeff, before we get any further, just trying to make sure, since I'm balancing two characters here, with that sensor, I believe does my spell DC go up permanently for everything, or is it just for damaging spells?
Just for damaging.
Just for damaging spells?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll have to keep track of that myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think that's automated. I think I automated it yesterday.
I think it's automated.
I
Okay.
think so.
I'm gonna trust you.
So yeah, what would you guys like to do? Some of you have said heading towards the Amber Temple. What does everyone else feel?
I don't know. Yes. Do you want food now?
Oh, it's +2 to hit with any spell attack, so my spell hit should be +10.
Yeah, I think I automated it, so we'll check.
Just we'll see. Sorry.
Yep.
This is why
I think it
I was
was-
saying this. I didn't want to take away from anybody else. I got too many questions.
No. It's you're not. Just relax. There, everything's fine.
Yep.
No need to panic yet.
Oh, I'm panicking.
So yeah, the last talk was to head towards the mountains.
Mhm.
But I think Mercer and Casimir want to be with us for the Amber Temple, right?
Yeah, so I was going to send word via animal messenger to Casimir if to let him know we were headed that direction.
Jeff, I have some questions so Merek can tell some stuff to the group.
Okay.
So it's 30 minutes to the manor, right? On foot?
Approximately, yeah.
Okay, give me a second.
But you're not sure. You've never been there, so.
Well, that's why I said approximately.
Yeah.
So that's the manor. From the manor to the Amber Temple, how far is that?
You're not sure. Could be a week.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think our goal was to go. We don't really know exactly where the Ember Temple is. We're just going to go to the mountain pass.
Right.
I know, but I need to for Merek to give you guys commentary. I need to know these things, which Merek would have rough estimates. And then from the Amber Temple to Vallaki, how much is that?
Also, you're
From
not
the
sure.
mountains to Vallaki.
So I have no idea how long it would take to get back from. Okay. To Vallaki. Okay. You can see Merek is like kind of trying to do some mental mathematics, which is not exactly his strong suit in the least. And clutching the invite from Strahd that he is infuriated about. He would look at the party and say, what you seek to accomplish cannot be done before the wedding. And just kind of fall silent because he really just doesn't want to talk about this goddamn wedding. But essentially, he'll explain like the route and how long it would take. And there's no way we can go to the Amber Temple and even hope to make it to Strahd's unless somebody has some kind of magic spell to bring us there. It's just not doable. Too much. It would take too much time.
Didn't he send Way to us somehow last time?
He sent
I
us a
wasn't with you
carriage.
guys, but from memory.
He sent us a carriage.
You do not believe the same will be.
Yeah.
Right.
Sent out this time, right? We just
How
figured
far
in the
is
last
Vallaki
invitation.
from the castle?
You can make it in a day.
Yeah.
We can make it from Vallaki in. Okay. So for I might need to retcon that 5th level spell there, Jeff.
So town of Vallaki to I can give you a more exact thing because you've done it before. Takes you about 6 hours by carriage.
So if we can find the mats for it, I could take Cormac could take teleportation circle for his 5th level spell, which would get us back to Vallaki from wherever we are in the mountains.
If you mention that, I would say that I know the teleportation coordinates for Vallaki because we teleported into what's his name's bedroom.
Nope.
Yeah.
Right.
For the
where
mirror.
we stole all the food.
Right.
Oh yeah, I
we
forgot
can
we
go
I forgot we
anywhere.
had that mirror.
So we could go anywhere. I can if Jeff will allow me to retcon that 5th level spell to teleportation circle. If we can find the mats for it, which is just some gem encrusted chalk. I don't know if we'll find that, but it's a possibility.
We have gems and
he-
chalk.
We do have gems and chalk.
But I think I guess I don't know that I understand the premise because I guess I would say to Merek, I would just say you know or have been to the Amber Temple because I just don't think I knew that you knew where that was at all.
I've never been to such a place. However, I know enough of my homeland that I can't give you an exact amount of days, but I am fairly confident that we would never be able to travel to all of these locations and make it back to that monster's wedding.
We have 20 days, right?
Yeah.
It's going to take us a week at the bare minimum to get to the Amber Temple without any obstacles, and I am no mountain guide as of
Yeah,
yet.
you're not. I mean, like it could be 2 days. It could be.
That's
it could
what
be like 3
yeah,
days. Like is
yeah,
what I'm saying. Like the range, you're not sure. Yeah.
This is Merek. Merek
Cool.
is giving you like his best, and then no, actually no, Merek wouldn't know that, so forget I said anything.
I guess what I'm gonna say is like we have to get to the Hags, and that's at the Mountain Pass. It's at least at the Mountain Pass. That's in kind of looking over at Reeves. To me, that's non-negotiable. I don't know of this Amber Temple. I don't know how far that is or where that might take us, but the Hags are my priority first.
But I'm wondering if having Casimir with us before we encounter the Hags would be better, because the more people we have going against them, if they're formidable, the better it's going to be, right?
I can send a message, but I can't hear back or guarantee
We don't know when we're going to...
he'll respond.
Yeah.
And we don't have time to sit and wait.
It is possible that he could meet us there.
Yes, we can send word and ask him to meet us there, but we won't know if he'll have heard the call or agree until he shows up.
My question is, why are we going against Hags? I know a little bit about Hags, and I know for sure that I do not necessarily like the idea of going up against them.
These
Cormac doesn't know.
Yeah, well, I guess there's a little story told there, but Cormac, we know these Hags personally. I may not look as youthful as I act, but they stole many years from me, and
yes,
we just need to remove this curse if we're gonna stand a chance at helping this place.
And they have the item that will purify that place up there, which I'll point back up to the Abbey, as well as help us in our fight.
I knew about the artifact for the abbots, but I kind of thought we just forgot about that. But I did not know there was a secondary reason for going for Hags.
I think if there's a chance at stealing any more of this land from the devil, it's our best lead at the moment. I have a score to settle. Not that I want to drag you guys into.
And to Merek, I will say, and cleansing the land, as you saw at Yesterhill, will weaken your mortal foe.
Merek, still clutching the invite, is just gonna look at you and say, "I would rather spend 1,000 nights with a hag than attend Strahd's wedding.
I bet it's going to be quite a decadent affair. To be honest. To be honest.
Merek's
I
just
mean-
gonna fucking glare at you. Like,
Behind Merek's back, Reeves is just gonna kind of like hunch, like,
Yeah.
you're not wrong.
He has a point.
The food,
So,
it's going to be top
Liz-
notch. I mean,
I was gonna say though, Lisbeth would kind of pipe up and say, but how good could the food be if it's being made by a dead man?
Based on
mean-
past experience.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
We don't say that to Cormac.
Cormac's gonna
Yeah.
switch sides.
I'm already looking forward to it. But okay. If that is the plan, then that is the plan.
Step 1, send word whether or not that will be fruitful or not, and make way for the crossing.
Hey,
Yeah.
Sid, if you don't mind, in your letter, if you want me to go to the temple with you, would you? I have a few instructions for Velaki and how to keep them on the straight and narrow while I'm away. I'd like to include that as well.
I could cast Animal Messenger twice if there's someone you would like me to. It's a ritual, so if there's someone you'd like me to send it to there.
Hey, that'd work. I'm gonna send it to Blinsky.
I think Sid would wince at that a little bit, but say okay.
Yeah, seeing that wince, you'd be surprised. He's really stepped up to the role. He's part of a small council of businessmen, farmers, and tradesmen, and he'll get the message across to who needs it.
Okay, Sid will send off 2 ritual, so 20 minutes later,
Okay.
2 ritual animal messengers, 1 to Casimir. Casimir's going to be complicated, but I'm going to keep it as simple as I can and just say we're headed up the mountain.
Get in, Lucer.
deal-
We're hunting hags.
Yeah, we're going after hags on the mountain. But maybe it's time to pay a visit to the Amber Temple.
Okay.
Meet us. I trust you can find us if needed.
All right.
And then yeah, Blinsky, I'll send whatever message.
Blinsky's just generic message like, "Hey, I'll be back in a short while. Got to go take care of something. Let everybody know that keep following the plan that we've been kind of setting in place. Not any too specifics, but just letting them know that I haven't left permanently. I will be back. I just had to go take care of something."
Okay. So everyone's in agreement, heading south towards the mountains.
Yeah, definitely chance after like the nice little heartfelt message we spoke on last time. Like she's worried about Reeves, so she wants to make sure we can get that stupid spell off of it. So we don't have to grind more kids' teeth,
What?
Oh, nothing. Don't worry.
As you're all getting
right, let's
ready,
go.
making and getting provisions ready, as the awkward silence falls over your group, Dimitri comes walking down the street. You're leaving already?
We've got a few things we need to take care of. But don't you worry, we'll be back. This is of great importance, or else we wouldn't leave.
Where is it that you're heading?
We're headed south. That's all I can say.
There's still danger up there. The abbot's still there, and we don't have a means to remove him yet. Hopefully, if we're successful in the south, we'll have a way to cleanse the abbey.
You can't say where you're headed. I could tell it will be important. Come back soon.
And like kind of when after he says that, I kind of want to shuffle him off to the side.
Okay.
Just speaking away from the party a little bit. I heard about what happened with your lad and your wife. And I want to apologize for all of us, as I'm sure you know, that we couldn't do more. But you have my word. We will be back.
He kind of, like, you can, his expression says it all. Yeah, as you can tell, he just like stands there in silence and just nods at you.
We won't let you down a second time. I promise you that.
Yeah, again, he nods and he says, well, let the journey be safe and let it be swift.
Do we also want to tell him about the supplies?
Yes.
So, which supplies, sorry?
Yeah, I don't remember how we heard about these supplies at the manor.
It's in the
What
leather
did-
that Luca gave us
Yeah.
or gave
okay.
me.
Yeah.
I see.
Which could have been a
What
trap.
direction is it in?
It's about southeast of Kresk.
Yeah.
It very
think
well
he
could
said-
be a trap as well, but
I doubt
Everything could be a
it.
trap. Oh yeah, everything could
Oh,
be a trap.
Tosh.
I mean, everything could. I mean,
Sweet summer child.
obviously, everything could be a trap, but
That puddle over there could be a trap.
I'll let him know that just southeast, just a 30-minute walk or so, there may be supplies in a warehouse, food, and items that may be beneficial, but I will also warn him specifically to not go alone and to take people who are very capable.
So, what do you tell him?
I tell him that there's a storage, what is a shed, a warehouse, what is
manor.
it?
It was a manor that you had.
A manor, about 30 minutes southeast of Kresk.
Put 30 minutes to an hour, Merek.
30 minutes to an hour away from.
Okay, can you roll a d20?
Sure.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Okay. Okay.
This morning at Kresk is pretty cool. Like you think most of the snowstorm that had came through here yesterday is now kind of past. But you notice almost immediately when you bring that up, almost like a slight glow on Dimitri's skin.
the
Like-
fuck?
Like as if he's not like sweating, but uncomfortable when you mention that.
I'm guessing you've heard of this manor.
I have. I will not be going there anytime soon.
Well, do you mind sharing with the group?
He kind of looks around to see if any of his local, like any of his townsfolk are around, and he says, "Oh, Lady Marilena and I were engaged, but that was a long time ago."
So?
Things did not end on good terms.
So she's still there? And you
I
do
don't
not
know.
wish to return? Because if I have my say, a little bit of nostalgia is keeping away from nostalgia is not worth the price of your own people starving.
Kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
He just says, "I will not be going there."
There are those that you can send there.
We'll find a different way.
And I'll just look at
Good
him like
enough.
with this look of just like disbelief and disappointment, and just
It sounds
Aye.
like a decision that should at least be passed by your people. If you're going to condemn them to die for your own stubbornness, they should have a say in that decision.
That's a good thing that Kresk has always been ran by my family, and that is not to change anytime soon. My decision is final. I will not head there.
You made your point. If we have time, maybe we'll do it ourselves. But you know, there's harsh decisions that need to be made as a leader. And sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and do it. But I'll say no more. You've made your decision.
He says, "To that I can agree. Sometimes you do have to just do."
All right, we're out. Got a long way.
All right.
I trust Merek's been taking good care of the horses.
They all actually seem very hungry. No, I'm just kidding. They seem very
Emaciated.
well. No, yeah, they're emaciated.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks.
No, they seem very well taken care of. And yeah, is everybody ready to leave Kresk?
Aye.
Yep.
Matt, I sent you a DM if you could check that out.
I will. Jeff, maybe it's something we can discuss during break or whatever, but a few sessions ago during our downtime, Reeves started crafting something, and we didn't really establish how many rolls I could have gotten on that during our time there. But maybe we can figure that out during some downtime.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
you wanted Chance to help you with it as well, and she wasn't here that session.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll review and definitely circle on that.
Okay, I want to learn from Reeves how to make a nice headband for myself, because I think it looks pretty dope.
Okay. As you guys can see your map marker, right?
Yes.
The green thing on the map?
Yep.
Okay. As you start your journey southward, about an hour and a half passes, and you finally make it to a spot that you recall quite well. You notice that none of the black vines have started to take over the winery as they had many moons ago. But Sid, you notice the crops are not doing as well as you remember. It seems that the land is returning back to a state of decay, that without the gems, the land is as infertile as almost everything else here in Barovia. As you continue down the path, you do make it finally to an out. Yep.
Wait, I duplicate. Just to remind us, I used the treasure card to duplicate one of the gems, and so there is one gem buried at the Wizard of the Wines. Okay, just want to confirm that. Okay.
Yep.
And your spell should still. I think you rolled for 8 months worth of.
Yeah, but
Wait,
I think Jeff is saying that wasn't very effective.
Where's
Oh.
where's the tree again?
You are about to approach it.
Okay, can we stop traveling so Merek can interact with the group while we regularly the carriage? You notice the carriage. Merek's always driving the carriage. I think we can all agree on that, people.
Yeah,
No.
I don't think he'd let anybody else touch it, so.
Yeah. So how long have we been traveling for, Jeff? At this point, like,
you are about 3 hours into the journey.
okay. Merek's gonna look to the party and go, I know time is short, but if we could take a quick reprieve by the tree, I think it would benefit everybody to some degree, and just kind of like, give you guys like not like a adorable puppy look, but like, hey, I'm a puppy and I want to stop here really bad. Can you please accommodate me?
How far is it to your village from here?
No, we're not going to my encampment. I want to stop by the tree where I met you.
I'm aware. After we go by the tree, how far is it to your village, which is where I believe we're going?
I don't have.
So
we're good. Okay, I think you guys forgot. Like, we don't have a village. I live with my mom and my dad next to a river. That's it. There's no village. There's nobody else.
You would know that is
Yeah.
It's about an hour trek through the woods from here.
Yeah, on foot.
Southward around the mountain.
Yeah.
As you correct me, I think Sid would say, how far is it to a safe camp from here?
My home is safe. We have lived many generations without being discovered, wandering in and out of towns as wood merchants.
You know, the fact that you're homeschooled, it explains a lot.
He's gonna like tilt his head because I have no idea what homeschool means, and then just go, but the tree. I insist, please, please, I insist we stop at the tree.
It's about a 30-minute trek to the tree from the main road.
Yeah, I'm just making sure we can do that and be, I don't have a sense for distance and can actually do that and be somewhere before nightfall, and I think it's 9:50, so I think that's okay, as long as we're not held up.
Yeah. I suggest anybody who can use an axe should accompany me.
Do you intend to harm the tree? I do not condone this. I essentially purified the tree to save it, and I'm not like gonna hack it apart. The druid's not gonna hack apart the tree.
You purified the tree.
The Yesterhill tree. I was the one that made it like a divine thing.
It's like a golden tree now.
Yes, I forgot about. Okay, sorry.
We're free. I would say you're free. We could harvest scraps of wood from that have fallen.
Okay. Let's change it to that. Then sorry, I completely forgot that you purified the tree. So yeah, let's see if there's like any branches of substantial worth that have like fallen off the tree. Merek assures you he's not going to mutilate it.
All right.
Yeah, Mercer would be upset about that as well.
One of our biggest successes.
Yeah,
chopping down.
Remember that was like
the
first like couple sessions I played with you guys, and it was a
it was your whole first session. I think that was.
Yeah, there was a lot. It was a lot to take in, so I forgot about that.
You're all good.
Yeah.
So you make it with no issue to the hill where the tree stands upon Yesterhill. And you notice as you approach, it is, like I said, this beautiful golden tree. I still have this. And it kind of stands alone upon the hill. And it's not sad. It's almost in beauty that it stands here on, like I said, on this expansive.
So Jeff, I know
I can't
usually.
see it.
Yeah, I can't see it either.
Blind.
Oh, why? What does it
said
say?
no token with vision.
Yeah, just a black screen. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so Jeff, I know usually you like us to be specific when we're looking for something, but in this case, whatever of this tree is useful, whether it's a root, a branch, a stem, a leaf, an acorn that fell from it, anything around the tree that Merek could even slightly suspect to be useful to make arrows or anything like that with, I'm going to instruct everybody to grab, and then we GTFO out of here because it's 10:22. So between this is all 6 of us looking for anything you. This is the most you've ever heard Merek talk describing anything about anything.
Okay, love it, love it, love it.
Like,
Yeah, go ahead and roll some survival checks for me.
sure, how many would you like?
Since there are 7 of you, 7, 6 of you,
Seven.
six,
Seven.
7.
I will
7.
roll. I will roll 7 survival checks. Wow, we are not off to a great start.
Do have a beautiful hope inspiration. I'm just kidding.
Bruh.
Come on, man.
It's a good thing you have
Ma-
good survival.
Merek talked a lot, but he didn't really describe shit that great to you.
No,
Gonna
we're
say,
just
I have
idiots.
a +4 to survival. I could have
We're just
I have,
probably
pl-
really
I have
helped,
I have
but
+6. I have +6.
The 16 was the best. Oh no, 19.
To be fair, those are probably higher roll. Like after everything's said and done, it's probably still better than we
honestly,
would have got.
yeah.
So you find you find one very rare branch. It seems like it just fell from the tree. I've added that to your character sheet. You find 3 just rare branches.
Okay. Any leaves or anything else? Just branches?
Just branches in this case.
Okay,
Like
yep.
we'll say that the leaves are attached still to those branches, and they're like this golden. They've got this golden hue about
Okay,
them.
so can we say, so what, 4 branches, maybe, I don't know, 2 dozen leaves? Does that
Sure,
sound
yeah.
fair? Does that sound fair to you?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, thank you. Merek, who would like to roll to see if they like give me one of the, like, let's say I found 2 branches. Do you guys want to roll to see who were the other 2 people that found the other branches? Would you like to do that, or do you want to skip that?
I got a 16.
You already rolled. Oops.
I get to roll twice.
It's not me.
I'm not
Still
sure
terrible.
what we're rolling for, but
This
I
bit.
You're rolling to see
Survival.
who found the other branches.
The 22. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You rolled survival. You cheated.
What am I
yeah,
supposed to
just-
roll in with
Yeah,
survival?
just a regular D20.
That's okay.
Which is
It's an
true.
18 still. It's still an 18.
Yeah, it's an 18. So,
My bad.
so but nonetheless, Merek is overjoyed with Reeves and Lisbeth for each bringing him a branch full of leaves. You can see it on his face. So,
I
now that
accept reagents and essences
oh, don't worry.
and sexual
get to
favors.
that. We will. I got a few of those. We'll get.
Lisbeth likes meat, so
Meat.
So does
That
Reeves.
falls under sexual favors.
does it? What about monster
Perfect.
parts? Is that also under
That falls.
That's
under
what we
sexual
call it
favors.
too.
Yeah.
Depends who you ask.
Good.
Uh,
All right.
now,
As you spend some
now-
time, looking for branches. Anything else you want to do here at Yester Hill?
No,
I will.
Merek, Merek's just gonna say. I want to say something to you there, Sid. So Merek's just overjoyed, like, now we can go wherever we want, even my encampment if you wish, Sid. And then,
Go ahead, nod and say, "Yep." I will go to where we buried, just briefly while they're kind of searching around, where we buried Belek's body, and just confirm that it's still
Not
in the
at your
ground.
ankle.
Yeah.
Correct.
When you do go to check, his body is still there.
Kind of like breathing a sigh of relief, and
Yeah.
yeah, maybe say some words in Druidic and just kind of be at rest, my brother, kind of thing.
It's hollowed ground now.
Sorry, my wife's just doing pantomiming ice cream things at me. It's really distracting.
are you gonna share with the rest of the
Yeah,
class?
what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys gonna share with everyone? Send it to Canada?
All right.
You better show up with a tub of ice cream at the airport, buddy, if you want to drive home.
It'll
all I have
definitely
to
be
say.
melted.
Oh, they were making butter churning hand motions. It was really bad.
Oh well.
Sorry about that.
That
Just like
also
goes
falls
with the
under
sexual favors.
That's
Yeah.
Tash
Anyway,
summoned that.
yeah. So I'll just say I'll just kind of say something in Druidic at the body, and then to the body, and go on our way.
Okay.
I would, as we kind of regroup, we'll kind of remind the party ads for the mountain pass. I believe we may need some sort of maybe meal or meat or sacrifice for the beast.
A whole cow.
More.
Yeah, Merek agrees that that's an excellent idea. Jeff,
Mhm.
how much time has passed since I've joined the party?
2 days.
2 days.
At least 9 days.
I think.
And a
I
knowable
think an
amount of
Full
accountable
amount of days.
number. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
I don't know exactly how many days.
I think long enough though, right? Yeah.
Long enough for what?
It depends.
Sexual
Yeah.
favors.
Do you? Well, no. This pertains to what Sid just said. Actually,
Mhm.
remember that creature that unfortunately I wasn't able to use when I joined the party there because the RP didn't pan out that way. Do you have the stat block for that?
Probably.
Because Merek would suggest he knows where to get a sacrifice close to here. The one he killed earlier is dead, but we could find some more.
Mercer did give Lisbeth like a bunch of meat.
No. You misunderstand, Cormac. We need a sacrifice. Freshly killed sacrifice.
We're still alive.
Merek was overexcited with the branches. He didn't think about
Are
that.
you sure you guys are good guys? Just clarifying. You're supposedly heroes, right? Yes. That is the story.
If you said that, Sid would just kind of mutter, "No."
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
You know what our intentions are, and
We
there's
thought
no
we
good
were.
or evil in this land.
I'm gonna snap at Cormac. How dare you speak such words to the chosen heroes of Barovia?
But I'm also apparently chosen hero, so I can say these things.
He calls
Right?
us
That's
that.
how it works.
He's the only one who calls us that.
That is yet to be revealed.
Just saying.
Oh.
If you have that picture, Matt, can you send that to me?
Oh, I was looking for it a couple weeks ago, and I think you just screen shared it to me. Honestly.
Okay.
As I said, I'm still new here. You know, trying to figure out the whole moral gray ground you have going on.
I have the description for it if you want, Jeff.
Yeah, just send it to me and I'll find it.
Okay.
Okay, so at the tree, anything else you want to do? You've, like I said, visited Belak's grave. He is, in fact, still buried. All right. As you make your way back to the main road, again, you could do so with no issue. You finally make your way to what seems like the start to the winding road that leads into the mountains. You remember that these mountains are named Mount Gakis. And yeah, you just notice, like I said, that it appears to be a very steep and winding road that leads very quickly into snowy territory. Anything else you want to do before you start your journey?
Did we not want to find a sacrifice before we got actually into the mountains?
Yeah, I think that's something we need to do.
Yeah. What's the size? Like you're talking about a creature that we previously killed one. What's the creature again?
No. So what? A little setup that me and Jeff did before I joined the party was to prove myself and basically like to prove myself I had to like kill a creature.
Mm-hmm.
So we had like a creature picked out. There was a picture somewhere. I can't find it for the life of me. And then Merek, to prove himself that he was worthy of joining you guys, he
prove himself to himself or prove himself to the Huntress?
prove himself to both you guys and the Huntress. So first I killed it for the Huntress, and then after the fight where I with the Druid, I would have led you to where I hung up the creature to prove to you guys that I was worthy of joining you. But you guys were just like, "Hey, cool,
Yeah.
welcome to the group, let's go." So Merek didn't force the issue because you guys clearly didn't care and you wanted him, so we never went that route.
Yeah, we needed a
but
little more Aegon in our ear.
Yeah, that's fine. But it would this creature is like basically like to ritually hunt something as a sacrifice. Like this is like the creature that my family chose to like. This is how you prove yourself. Anything less, you're a piece of shit. Go die in a river. Because we live next to a river.
Is this a creature we're going to be able to bring with us? Like,
we
into the
would we would probably only need its head, in all honesty.
But we don't know, like,
we don't know what this beast is. We don't know anything other than.
Well, no, I know. I can track it.
No. The beast in the mountains.
Yeah, we don't know why. Like, we received instructions that basically said, like, if you're going into the mountain, bring these things and do these things. And one of the things was like bring a sacrificial cow or something like that.
Oh, this is gonna be. Merek would assure you that this is going to be a better sacrifice than any cow in Barovia.
Well, our hypothesis is that you send the cow forward for a yeti or something to hunt it down while you sneak by. Is the way that was the vibe that like I kind of got from those instructions. Meaning, like, if we could get a deer on a leash and then send the deer off running.
The sacrifice has to be alive?
We don't know.
It'd be a poor assumption, but
yeah, we could be way off base.
Yeah.
Merek do that thing and just run away.
Yeah, Merek would say that if it's a deer, if it's a stag you desire, a stag you shall get. However, when it comes to animalistic sacrifices, this creature I speak of is worth its weight in gold.
Well, if we can trap it and bring it with us, I can't see why not. It would cover both possibilities if it's an actual sacrifice or if it's a distraction.
Can I roll a nature? Yeah, can I roll a nature check just to? I don't know. I mean, I don't want to assume as Travis what has to happen.
I was going to say, like,
I don't have any idea about any of this. Like, we're speculating a lot.
So Merek, here I will post the description and the picture. So Merek will describe to you the animal as best as he can, specifically the one that he killed before joining you guys. So if you guys all want to take a second to read the description in the main Discord channel there, and I will also
go and roll a history check, Sid.
A Wendigo?
Merek doesn't know it's a Wendigo. We know details, we don't names and stuff like that aren't exactly
Can Reeves do one too? History check, just because he was also kind of in on.
Anybody that was at the Tower of Kazan.
Oh god,
feel
the
free.
Tower of Kazan.
I was there.
Remember when?
Remember when you were at the tower?
Remember?
Oh,
yeah. So
sorry,
Merek
doing
is just
nature.
That's fine.
History.
Yeah. Ooh, wow.
So
that's 2 nat 20s.
Yeah. Jeez.
It was a chance rolled a nature check, but I'll still count as a nat 20.
Sorry. No, I can do it again.
No.
Don't.
It's a nat 20.
You're not beating a nat 20.
Give it up a nat 20. So you remember that there was a journal entry that you had read from Vilnius. Vilnius was the apprentice wizard to Jakarion. Jakarion was the kind of not master wizard by any means, but both of them were set to make a journey to the Amber Temple. And in his final entry, you both remember the following. It says, "We set out at dawn. I have packed lightly per the master's instructions, and he has foreseen much game between here and Mount Gakis, as if he knows how to hunt. So my stomach grumbles and shall continue to grumble. Blah, 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 blah. Likewise, Master has bought, or rather, I have bought, a bull to sacrifice to Selenka's Pass dreadful guardian. May it take that beast instead of our mules, and if it doesn't, may we happen to not be astride those pitiful steeds when the guardian attacks.
So we don't need
So
a
we-
bull because
So-
we have 2 horses.
That's not going to be an option. Let's throw that idea out the window now.
Does anybody have the? I mean, it's not like we can just make an animal appear out of thin air, right?
I did
I
actually
mean,
not prepare that spell today.
Well, Merek would discourage a sacrifice by magical means. It wouldn't be an honorable thing to do in the eyes of the huntress to attempt such things.
Well, there goes my idea of using like a mouse or something.
We need something big enough.
That's very Cinderella of you.
That's why we pictured it being an animal that had to be alive to distract a bigger monster.
Does Merek, Jeff?
Look,
does Merek think we could capture my sacrifice creature there?
You think it would be very difficult? You think the one that you killed was likely a baby.
Okay.
But you think possible?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was you killed a baby. There's now 7 of you, right? So.
Yeah, and not only 7, but 6 of the chosen heroes of Barovia.
But also, what are we gonna do? Put a leash on it and drag it with us until we get to the pass?
Tie it up.
Seems like a bull is less work.
Or a deer.
Well, no,
There's plenty of
Merek
game.
said. Merek said, if it is a stag you desire, a stag you will have.
To me, that feels like the way to go, but maybe it's not.
I think we should. I think we should. Yeah, I think we should see what we can find. But if that fails, like there's 7 of us. Yes, this creature might be dreadful and eviscerate us, but also like, you know,
awesome.
time is burning.
We can't spend a whole day looking for.
We may have to fight.
Stags.
We may, it's not a rule that it's an animal sacrifice. We may just have to be careful as we pass. Maybe that's the warning in and of itself. It's just.
Hey, smoke bombs and pass without trace.
Pass without trace. I posted a pass without trace meme today too.
Okay.
I removed the enhance reduce one, so don't look at me for making it smaller.
Should we while traveling then, as we get closer, maybe slow down a bit to keep our eyes open for
I would
game?
I would say that as we are traveling, if Jeff approves, Merek would decide probably what's the best territory to start looking for a stag. And then if we can't find a stag or even a bear, right? Because there are bears around as well. A bear would be pretty easy to kill.
We don't want to kill it though.
Well, yeah. Sorry to bring it along there. So
you think definitely the lowlands, the forest is where you'd find something. As like where you are at these crossroads, you can imagine like a San Francisco street. That's kind of the angle that this road is going uphill.
Yeah.
So this road you think leads very quickly into the mountains.
Ice-a-roni.
So Merek would suggest that before we venture down the road, up the road any further, that we acquire your desired sacrifice. For game will become more and more scarce as we travel upwards.
I think you're muted.
Maybe we spend just a few hours. I don't want to get caught somewhere at night, but maybe we spend
maybe
a few
2 hours even. Do we say if we can't find anything in 2 hours, we just
at night we do have a safe spot to rest. If it comes to that, just about anywhere we need to be. The horses can't say so much
the horses do not.
But us, we have a safe spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe
well,
we spend.
at the end of the day, defeating Strahd is more important than the horses to Merek, even though he likes them.
Maybe we spend 2 hours seeing if we can find some game.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a group survival check. So nominate one person, and you can roll it with advantage.
Definitely not me.
Yeah,
My
Matt, you
survival
have
one.
6. Travis, how much did you have?
5. But I can guidance. I can guidance you.
I
Yeah,
can also inspire as well.
Let's guidance and inspire
Do all of them.
Merek. Yeah.
So you have a D8 inspiration as well.
Okay. So
Just like you guys are gonna start to get annoying. All these
Nope.
things.
Nope. This is part of becoming more powerful. This is the fun
Yeah.
part.
He set us up that we had to have
Okay.
a goal.
And you said D8 for the
D8.
inspiration? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Oh ho!
Alright, alright.
Which direction do you look?
Can you give me the
Like
me the map?
basically, like do you, yeah. Oh, you're
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
There you
Give me the map and I will tell you exactly which
I thought you guys
direction.
were on this map. So you're basically
Uh,
here at the crossroads. You know, there's forest to the north as well as to the south. South would be towards kind of your home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would once again, because we are where we are, I would suggest that we go hunting in the direction of my encampment or my family's encampment, because that's where we would honestly, that's where we get most of our game. That's where we're set up out there.
Yep.
We're well surrounded by food.
I realize Sirenscape's not even playing. Cool.
Right,
So,
the hillbilly hobo field trip.
Once
do
again,
you all
Merek,
do you all go together, or is Merek going on his own?
well, I would suggest that because it's relatively safe, that I take 2 people and go towards my encampment, and 3 other people go northwest. Would be the other best bet to find game.
So we're splitting the party.
Yes. That no, that's Merek's suggestion. You guys have the final say, right? So four going. Merek would suggest 4 people go northwest and 3 people go towards his encampment, which is safer. Hence, why 3 people.
I think Sid kind of at the suggestion said rather face the beast without a sacrifice together than split our group in this place.
Okay, then
Look. You're a druid, right? Can you not just turn into deer and go talk to friends and bring them back?
I think we have a good plan. Let's just stick together, Merek. We're gonna follow your lead. Yeah, I'm confident we can get something.
Okay.
I'm not prepared for being nice with nature today, Cormac.
As you venture into the woods away from the path, it starts to get quite thick. Your wagon and horses would not be able to traverse into the woods.
No, Merek would probably suggest that we tie up the horses on Yester Hill next to the tree. Probably the safest place.
So you're back at the road.
Yeah, I know.
So it'd be another 30 minutes back
no,
towards the tree.
Really far back. We're kind of.
Once again, suggestions.
Vetoed.
We have a wee bit to go before the mountain. Why don't we just keep an eye out? If you spot any places that might be good to hunt, then we stop then.
Merek's gonna look at you and say, This is the best place. We will chance the horses to fate, leave them here, and I shall take you for your desired sacrifice. While he's gonna actually just like start tying up the horses to a tree that he likes and just be like, oh well.
Reeves will even recommend, listen, I can be quiet if Merek and I just want to go in for an hour and we won't go too far. You guys can stay with the horses. Between the 2 of us, if we're stealthy enough and quiet enough, we should be able to find something in these woods.
Just the 2 of you.
Merek seems to be game for anything that you guys want to do, especially what Reeves wants to do.
If anyone
So
else
I'm
wants to come
staying.
with us.
I'm staying with carriage. The
Cormac
woods
is
not
staying with
not really
carriage.
my thing.
Lisbeth, what would Lisbeth be?
Well, he's kind of handy in the woods. I feel like Lisbeth would stay with the carriage just to protect everything.
Okay. All right. Sid.
He wants to stay with the carriage, but I don't think he wants to leave leave them to the woods by themselves, and so he would go with them.
Chaz.
All right. Good.
And maybe to Mercer, he would say, "Protect this flock, and
I'll stay with the carriage if you want to go.
I feel like
Sure.
Chance would go because she's also pretty good in the woods.
Okay. So the four of you set out, leaving the wagon as well as some of your companions behind. Yeah,
Pass
go ahead.
without a trace.
Okay.
That's,
I feel like while we're sitting,
This is bad.
while we're sitting there, Lisbeth would actually chat it up with Mercer. She doesn't really have much time to talk with him.
Hello, are you there?
Yeah, did you want to RP that out or just like
Nah, they're just
that
making
be-
small
okay.
talk.
Yep.
Lisbeth is
Cool.
good at that.
Jeff, obviously our tokens aren't on the
Yep.
map, so I can't.
No,
tap
I'll keep the thing in
Okay.
mind.
Cormac
thank
is
you.
in the carriage taking a nap.
Oh, and before we venture
And
into the woods, I
rummaging
forgot.
through people's things.
Jeff, did you
Mhm.
not put a description for the temporary effect, or is it in feature?
Which one?
The eyebrow one.
It's an effect on you.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I would like to read
It's
out.
just
what it is. So
just
basic
intimidation and persuasion.
Okay, so
Advantage and
because
disadvantage.
because I lost my eyebrows for the next, like, what did we say, 4 to 5 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Merek has advantage on intimidation checks and disadvantage on persuasion, because I do look meaner now that I don't have eyebrows. But also, you can't really tell my what was it you said, the mood?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't tell the mood, so I have disadvantage on persuasion for 4 to 5 days because of
Yep.
the horse in the last session.
As each one of you, well, not each one of you, some of you head into the woods. The others that remain behind, on the in the wagon, Lisbeth, Lisbeth and Mercer. Sorry,
It's just
you
me
would.
and Tash. It's just me and Tash.
Yeah, Lisbeth and
No,
Mercer.
no,
You would
don't
notice.
fight. Don't fight.
You would notice. Every once in a while, it's as if something is like blotting out the sun in the sky. And every time that you look, it is obviously completely cloudy and misty and rainy. But it's as if almost something the size of a large dragon is flying way overhead in the mountains. It is very far away.
Sounds
Can you
legit for this
repeat
place.
that? Because you kind of cut out there for me in like
Oh.
mid-sentence.
Um,
You got to this part, smoky,
giant-
something very large, smoky. But
Smoky,
there's
giant, dragon-looking shadow behind mist and clouds and rain in the sky way, way up above.
fun,
The
awesome.
direction we are traveling.
Yeah.
Correct. Outside of that, you notice the weather, of course, is starting to get worse. The rain is kind of starting to pelt down on you. Those of you traversing through the woods under the careful guidance of Merek, with some magic to aid your path as well. Merek seems to know these woods quite well, with guidance as well as some blessings before Cormac went to take a nap. You feel pretty confident in the direction that you're heading. As you continue through the woods, you do spot in a small clearing quite a good-sized deer, exactly where you expect it to be, Merek. An area that you've hunted in probably quite some time. What would you like to do?
Should I try to make a noose and sneak up to it, or try to make like a leash?
Not even, as you see Merek rifling through his cornucopia of poisons. Give me a sec here. I forget. I forget which one it is.
Now, as the rest of you are kind of patiently sitting around, maybe scanning your shoulders, looking around, you do hear this very guttural snarl. It's quite a ways away. It sounds like a wolf in
pain.
Yeah.
Who's hearing this? Is it the hunting party or the caravan?
The hunting party.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna kick my feet back then.
So what? Can I get an estimate of what? Can I get a read on what direction and how far?
Yeah, it is. You hear rushing water in the distance, very far away. It is in the same direction. You believe that to be southwest from where you are.
Kind of. Okay.
So you are think about that. You are about here.
Yeah, Jeff, I found the poison that I need to use.
Okay.
So I will shoot. So Merek, being an experienced hunter, I will shoot an arrow at it in a non-lethal area. With dizzying touch on it, because they fall prone. When I hit them.
Can I give him the help action on the shot, basically trying to time the behavior of the animal to tell him kind of when?
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll a d20 with advantage.
I will roll a d20. Is it control to roll with advantage? I forget.
Actually, I'll say
Alt. I always remember alt starts with A and A is for advantage.
I'll kind of before he shoots, I'll just say hold a sec and look at Reeves and say when it goes down, make for it with the noose. So we're kind of coordinated a little bit. He's gonna shoot it, but you go for it.
Yeah, I will ready my sprint action.
Okay.
And your grappling hook.
All right.
Lisbeth and Mercer, I've cracked open a bottle of the Purple Dragon Smash. And we're just,
oh no!
You guys are gonna be just hammered. Is it just Cormac and Mercer getting drunk together?
No, Cormac's taking a nap. It's just me and Lisbeth.
Oh.
So I held down Alt and rolled. What do you have to do with Alt then?
That's only if you roll from your character sheet. If you're just manually rolling, you just click on it twice.
Oh, okay. That's what I was asking.
Yep,
but aren't you rolling an attack?
Yeah, I'll add his modifier to it.
Yeah.
Cool. So as you release your shot, I think you add 10. Yeah, you add 10. For 27, you most definitely hit the deer exactly where you want it to. What is your poisoner's DC?
18.
Okay. You feel like as your shot hits, you wait a little while longer. You feel as if your poison is not as effective as you had hoped, but then finally the deer does. I rolled a 17. The deer does crash down eventually, and yep.
As soon as Merek starts to see the deer's legs starting to buckle with the slightest tremble, and he knows it's coming, I immediately point to it so Reeves can get the deer, and I'm in tow behind him as well.
Cool. With your good coordination, you easily manage to tie up the deer in such a way that you can either drag it or pull it along, however you plan to bring it.
Yeah. For now, I'd probably just hog tie it, and either we can use a stick on our shoulders.
While you do that, Merek would be chopping down something we can just slide under the hog tie and lift it up. Because he's done this with his dad many times, right? So it's easy for me to pick out. I would say personally, it's easy for me to pick out a good size, not stick, but.
Yep, I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. We do that, and we start.
Yep, we do
making our way back.
Get him out right back to the carriage.
Get him out.
Yeah. Throughout this whole process, does anything change with what we heard?
No, you heard one quite. Not alarming, but as if a wolf was in pain. You hear nothing subsequently.
I'm not very sympathetic to wolf-associated things right now, so I think I would just kind of follow them, but maybe keep a lookout behind us as I follow them out.
Roll a perception check. Yeah, as you've been, as you slowly make your way back to the main road, you kind of start to hear some strange sounds, and they're sounds that, they're sounds that you would expect maybe, if there was, I don't know, a hunting party, in this area. Merek, you would know that no such hunting parties, frequent this location, and it would change from human voices, but very far in the distance, and then all of a sudden it sounds as though a large cow is mooing in the distance, but it's coming from behind you.
Yeah. Wait, towards my family's encampment or in another direction?
No, just...
Okay.
Yep.
So Merek would perk up like an animal that has just heard somebody, step on a crack, and Sid would know that the look of some legendary Legolas in a book somewhere. It's just something is amiss.
So
Such human noises should not be heard around these parts.
So does it sound? I'm wondering if I have enough time to cast a ritual spell before much changes with this whole experience, or does it feel like this is something that's kind of happening very rapidly?
It sounds like it's closer. It's not a lot closer, but it sounds a little bit closer. You think, I don't know, maybe 300-400 feet, maybe?
Oh, 300, 400 feet.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's close. That's closer than I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I guess we still have Pass Without a Trace, and
Yep.
maybe I would look at Reeves and the group of us. I guess we're all back together now.
Yeah, we're making our way
We're
back.
back in
We're
the car.
holding. We're
You're
holding.
not back in the car
no,
yet.
We're not back in the car.
Three of us
but
are.
we're making
Okay.
our way. We're making
You're
our
about
way back.
Four of us.
here on the map.
So then,
Yeah.
with the group of us and maybe Chance, you're with us too, right?
Four of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe Chance and Merek, I would nod to just maybe keep going, and maybe Reeves and I can just take a quick look.
Well, first, Reeves and I are carrying the deer, first of all, because I think we're the two strongest.
Yeah, I was just, I don't know if Reeves or me or any of us are strong.
Merek,
I'm minus one.
Merek,
I think 3 of us are -1.
Yep.
Yeah, we're all, we're
okay.
not helpful.
Okay, well, whatever then. Me
I'm
and
just
whatever.
just trying to get someone sneaky to maybe.
The
have
strongest are back in
No.
the carriage.
No,
So okay,
I would...
Chance, if you're okay with it, I would hand off the log, with the spit that we're holding the deer with, to you, and yeah, I'd just get as stealth. I'll pull my cloak up to be a little more camouflaged and start walking a little bit slower to reduce the noise I'm making.
I'll need all of people's stealth checks. We'll add 10.
Well,
Pass Without a Trace.
Chance and I aren't going to be stealthy. We're going to move as fast as we can to the carriage. Merek would turn back and look at Sid and Reeves and go, no unnecessary risks. And then immediately turn around and start, basically pulling Chance behind him with the stick. Because I do have a little more strength than you do.
Yeah, Chance is hating every second of this. She's what the?
I'm at strength 12, so I'm
vegan for a reason.
Yeah.
Maybe regrets going
I
along
ate
for the
that
hunt.
vegan. I'm not
No, I'm using my inspiration.
Okay.
Wait, Travis still has that bonus.
Yeah,
you do.
The advantage.
All of you technically have 1 extra inspiration.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm definitely.
Me, Travis, and Matt.
No, all of you from last session.
Oh.
Yeah, you all did really good RP.
So 25.
Can I ask at this point how long they've been gone?
Probably about an hour.
We're hammered.
Love it.
This is probably
Wait,
the
I
tail
got a
end.
new thing. I wonder.
Start the car.
Does being hammered is considered maybe either paralyzed or poisoned? Maybe.
No,
I think incapacitated.
Mercer and Lisbeth just sharing this. Cormac's taking a nap. He's just out. He's out
Got
cold.
a new
oblivious
move.
to
I
the
was
world.
wanting to use it. Never mind. You're going to be hammered.
We're sharing battle stories.
Yeah. As you, what do you do? Are you still moving? Are you hiding? What?
Yeah, I thought we would just try to move back a little bit to see if we get a peek at what's happening.
Even if we could maybe do like a little bit of a semicircle around, maybe we can get behind the direction that they're moving in.
Okay. Yeah. As you make your way deeper into the woods, as you make your way a little bit deeper into the woods back, taking a slightly different path, but you believe at least to the same area where you had hunted the deer, you spot something strange. Once again, you hear human sounds calling out. Then you hear a human scream. Then you hear ravens. And that's when you look, and the creature that you see is most definitely not human. You see, again, a large creature. It appears to have some sort of combination between a large bear, an even larger elk than the one that you hunted. It's got these massive antlers that fork out from its head, and it seems to have its head down, sniffing at where the elk that you hunted was. And every time it kind of opens its mouth, you hear these human calls, almost as if it's mimicking its previous victims, you think.
What the?
Is that a
Reeves
Wendigo?
is gonna end up tanking again?
No.
I think maybe looking at Reeves is just like, no, let's get out of here and warn the party, like
Yeah.
kind of whisper.
Run.
Yeah. Even. How far away is it from us?
It's probably about 100 feet away or so. Like you're
Jeff?
in a forest, so yep.
Jeff, I assume that the younger versions of these things would not emit such noises, so
Nope.
Merek would not recognize the trap.
Yep.
Yeah, I figured as much. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do anything. Let's just get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, with your stealth rolls, you're fine.
Is it, as we go though, I want it, like, does it seem like it's continuing to kind of come closer?
No, since you've kind of you lifted the body and you carried it out, if you would have drug it out, then you think probably yes. But since you carried the body out, it kind of like you see it at one point probably just like sniff, and like obviously both of you don't smell anything, but it like immediately takes off darting in a different direction, and it moves quite fast. You do not think you could outrun it.
Good thing it's going in a different direction then.
As you make your way back to the road, deer, stag in tow, you arrive to see both Mercer and potentially Lisbeth sharing an almost empty bottle of wine.
Elizabeth is gonna immediately run over and take the animal from Chance.
I'll just say, oh, thank you. That was so
Roll
handy.
athletics.
With
You want me to?
disadvantage?
I can.
It's just one bottle of wine. It's still
I'm a
good.
big guy. It
It's-
takes a
yeah,
lot
it's
more than
pretty
one bottle of
tanky.
wine to take
It's
me down.
purple
Exactly.
dragon smash. Okay, like this shit's legit.
It is actually good wine.
Uh,
With your stag in tow, what would you all like to do? Continuing up the mountain pass?
Or is Reeves and Sid
Yep,
back?
They've arrived, yeah.
I'm not leaving without them.
Wait, are we just gonna like strap it to the front of a carriage like some good old boys?
Yeah, Merek is. I was just gonna say Merek would be securing our sacrifice to the carriage.
Cormac's gonna wake up to like a deer, a stag next to him in the back of the carriage.
The stag just starts talking.
It wouldn't be the first time. Well,
Stag party. No.
I was just talking about the joke you made the other day, Matt. How you
The
were
loot.
laughing more
Right.
hysterically at yourself.
I
was
couldn't.
like,
I
"Oh,
couldn't
that's
stop.
funny."
I couldn't tell the joke because I was laughing too much.
Ever.
Uh,
Merek would also tie the stag into the carriage in a way that if it wakes up and it tries to struggle, it can't really move or go anywhere.
Okay. Yeah, you can easily manage to do so.
Thank you.
We'll mummify him.
As you venture up the mountain road, you do so for probably about a half hour. When past the southern hills, you enter kind of, again, this very windy and snaking road. And that's when the snow kind of begins on the ground, changing from, a gravel and dirt road to, a road that is completely covered in snow. Not too far into the snow, almost all of you immediately see some sort of footprints that seem to lead behind a jagged rock formation on the side of the road.
Merek would immediately stop the horses and point that out to the entire party. And what kind of footprints do they look like?
Human.
Okay.
What was the first thing in the journal that we read? What was the first obstacle that they were preparing for?
They're packing light.
They're packing light, and that there would be game on the way.
Yep.
And
then the next thing is about some sort of dreadful guardian.
Yeah, they bought a bowl to appease the guardian.
The bowl for the guardian. If it's only human footprints at this point, maybe we don't need to get the stag out quite yet.
I mean,
Merek would offer to go. Merek would go offer to check it out.
Scout ahead.
Does
Maybe
it
take
look like it's a good hiding place for like an ambush?
Either an ambush or just being away from the road.
How many footprints approximately?
There are 3 sets.
And how far are the rocks from where we are? Or sorry,
about 15 or 20 feet off the road.
Yeah, Merek would suggest that he backs up the carriage while maybe Reeves or himself investigates.
Yeah, I could try and go like stealthy, just quietly take a peek around, see if there are people hiding there.
Yeah, because Pass Without a Trace lasts for an hour, right?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, so
but we already spent an hour. We used it.
Yeah.
Right, though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can I do a scan of the environment, just see are there eyes on us from that direction?
You don't see anything, but yeah, if you want to roll a perception check.
While he does that, Merek would slowly back up the horses as much as he can.
Okay. Yeah, you're quite confident, Reeves, that there's nothing watching you.
Okay. Then yeah, I'd like to kind of sneak my way towards, just to take a peek around to see where those footprints lead behind.
Okay. As you round the kind of jagged rock formation, you immediately see that some sort of bloody struggle took place. There is what appears to be a extinguished campfire, a completely torn and shredded leather tent, as well as 3 sleeping bags inside the tent.
Looks like it was
sleeping bags?
The torn and battered ones.
What?
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, I think you're the only one up there, right?
Yeah. It was definitely like some kind of a large creature that.
And you think perhaps the creature that you have recently seen could very easily do something like this.
Shit. Am I close enough to tell like how recent this was?
Roll maybe a survival check. Nice.
16.
Yeah, as you look around, you believe that this is definitely recent. You think within the last evening, probably. Probably around the same time that Mercer arrived at Kresk. You notice that there's just a chaotic array of footprints that lead in almost all different directions. You don't see any sort of body, but what you do find is a severed human hand. You see a handful of discarded spears as well.
Any rings on that hand?
There are no rings.
No gem.
And you said there's no real path as to the direction maybe the monster may have gone.
No.
After.
No, it just goes basically like into the mountains, you think.
Right.
From what you can tell is that whoever was here was clearly packed for cold weather. Just based on like the quality of the sleeping bags. The tent itself is like it's not just a leather tent. There's like multiple layers inside that seem to be a pretty well made tent.
Anything salvageable from their winterized gear?
Unfortunately not. It's all torn to shreds.
Okay.
We are not prepared for this again.
Merek did warn you that he's not a mountain guide yet.
Okay. Well, I will. Yeah, I'll go back to the party and explain the situation. That monster seems like it went back up the hill, and we look like we're going to a different party than these guys were going to.
That's good.
Is there anything we have? I guess maybe doing an equipment check. Like I have hide armor and fine clothes. Like, is there anything we can just kind of salvage together out of our stuff to winterize briefly?
I have a blanket.
I have like leather scraps. I have like kind of an assortment of stuff.
Merek has a blanket made out of human hair.
Oh, don't tell me that.
That's your blanket, buddy. That's yours. You got that.
Yeah.
You think having winterized gear would definitely be helpful? You think like a normal blanket is great for, a slightly chilly evening, but for like as you look up the ascent seems quite steep. Now that
Matt, you're not muted.
Oh, sorry.
Now that you've already started to kind of like ascend this first mountain, you think perhaps that like there is this mountain which seems still quite tall, but behind it, almost like even further in the distance, you see a second mountainous peak.
So I would like to use my new level 5 ritual spell, and I would like to cast. What's the distance on this? Oh, that's pretty short. Or wait, no. 3 miles. So I would like to ritually cast Commune with Nature.
Mm-hmm.
And I get 3 facts of choice about the 3 mile area, but it only goes into 300 feet of caves.
Okay.
So one of them is I'd like to know if there are any buildings or structures anywhere that we could essentially find
within 3 miles.
Yeah.
There are no such structures within 3 miles.
Okay. So there's nowhere to find shelter nearby or potentially find any gear. I have 2 other questions.
Mm-hmm.
I guess being that animal, I'd like to maybe ask a question, or I'd like to know if it's, I don't know, maybe get a sense for its like territory.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do I get a sense that its territory is up the mountain or down the?
No, you get the sense that it is more in the forests.
Yeah.
And that you're even quite surprised, and Merek would be too, that it would have ventured so far up this path.
Okay, and then What's the third question to know about the area? It says prevalent plants, minerals, animals, or peoples. Maybe I'd get one more certain knowledge about the terrain, as in, like, are we entering an environment that we're not going to be able to survive if we don't find a way to prepare ourselves better?
You think just seeing how far you've risen, how the temperature has already dropped, from here, from where you're standing, you're about on par with Yester Hill as far as elevation. Yeah. You find you're not cold, but if you had a really thin sweater, that would probably be comfortable. You think based on the distance that you have left to the summit, it is likely that you probably wouldn't even make it more than halfway.
Yeah. I think I'd relay that to the party that we might have been a little...
God damn it.
That's when you recall somebody in Kresk asking, "Where are you headed?"
Yeah. We're definitely not going back there with our tails between our legs, right?
Yeah.
Well, would Velaki, would Mercer know if Velaki had any winter clothes available?
That's very far back.
That's further than Kresk, but yes, you believe that, like specifically the two hunters, Soldar and Yevgeny, I believe his name is, if my memory serves me, both are formidable hunters, specifically in the forests, but you would expect that they would have, like wolf pelts and that sort of stuff that you could fashion equipment from.
Jeez.
Right. It's like, because I can get us there, I just can't get us back to where we are.
No. What about...
So the distance on the map, if anybody is measuring, it is not correct. I can make it correct, though.
No, I was just curious. How far are we from Wizards of the Wines? The winery?
1 second here. Where did your token?
I have one last question, one last idea, but I don't think everyone's going to like it.
Did your token disappear, or was that just me?
Yep.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Everything's black for me.
Perfect.
Excuse me, DM, I have dark vision?
My whole foundry is just like not happy. To get back to the winery, you think it's probably about an hour and a half down the path.
It's not terrible if we wanted to see if they had any gear. My last idea was, does it seem like there's enough of a body to that creature that we could essentially fashion gear from its...
Are we going to, like, sleep in the tauntaun? Is that what we're going to do?
Yeah.
You don't believe so, unfortunately.
Okay. Sid's obviously
that's probably more accurate now.
Yeah. Sid's obviously flustered. We just kind of feel like we just wasted time in a day. And
hold on. We do have 2 individuals that are capable of turning into rather large birds.
What were you going to say, Lisbeth?
I'm wondering if anybody has any creature meat on them.
I
like
gave you
anything of that.
I think I have chitin.
I just have like 1 ration. That's not.
Did you take that? Yeah, you took the meat. So
the map has more to scale if anybody was measuring and wants to measure.
Like, I have abilities to cook meals that can protect us against the cold and stuff, but I don't have any of the ingredients to do that.
We have a deer.
It has to be meat from a creature with elemental resistance or immunity.
Oh, don't think we have that. Yeah.
Like that's yeah.
So as the giant eagle flies, how far away would it take us? Would it take maybe Sid and I to be able to fly someplace to pick up winter gear?
Jeff, before you answer that question, can you answer mine that I just DM'd you on Discord?
Yep. You think it's probably about like from here to Vallaki, you mean? Is that your question, John?
Or to Kresk. Either one.
You think it's probably about a 3-hour, maybe 2.5-hour flight?
Round trip or one way?
One way.
Yeah.
Maybe two, probably. More like.
I could do that with two wild shape uses.
I mean, I don't remember how long my polymorph lasts.
I think it's like an hour.
Is it?
I don't know. I think so.
Yeah, it's 1 hour.
So I could do a run. I don't know if I can carry enough gear back for everyone.
Well, you can take me on your back, and we can fill the fucking bag of holding with it.
That's creative thinking.
Since it's no longer occupied by a dead person, there's plenty of space.
There was plenty of space even with the dead person. You know that.
Was Merek suggesting something or?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to mute myself again there, but yeah, so Merek thinking long and hard about the current predicament. I believe my parents would be more than joyous to craft winter garments for the chosen heroes of Barovia if we were go back with the appropriate materials.
That's the thing, we have to have the appropriate materials.
Well, Jeff, what are the appropriate materials?
You would know that you would need for. There we go.
Seven people.
Yeah, so you know that ideally, at a minimum, everybody has like a wolf fur cloak, and ideally a wolf fur blanket as well. So you basically need 2 pelts per person. In addition, having a well-lined tent is ideal.
Well, we've got the tiny hut is climate controlled, so
yeah, that would take care of the tent.
That would take care of the tent. But I think if we're talking about the saving of time here, we'd have to gather the materials, we'd have to find the materials, and then there would be taking the time and crafting the materials as well as the travel.
Yeah.
If Sid and I just fly to fly to Kresk and just like we can even like stealth reconnaissance, steal some freaking furs if we need to, throw them in the bag, and then bounce back. And that would be only 4 hours of our time that we know of.
Can I make a roll to see if Merek could approximately guesstimate how his plan would take long, Jeff?
How long that would take?
Yeah, how long the craft? Because Merek would have seen his parents craft things, and I know I could probably guess how long it would take us to hunt 14 pelts.
You think to hunt the 14 pelts would take you quite some time. To get to Kresk is about a 2-hour flight. Obviously, back is about 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know that Kresk is set in a mountainous and snowy environment.
I think that's our best bet.
Merek after thinking a bit would completely agree with you, Sid.
So either Cormac could come with me, or I could do it with the bag of holding on my own.
Good luck convincing him.
You are not taking my bag.
Just pick him up. I'm just kidding.
I will go ahead. What I can do is, for the safety of the party, I can go ahead and cast the tiny hut. That way they have a safe location to be inside the woods, camouflaged and climate controlled, keeping them warm while we're on our travel. And I don't have to concentrate on that at all. That's literally just there for 8 hours.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Votes from the party? Reeves, Chance, Lisbeth?
I agree. I'm good with
whatever we gotta do.
Hutting it out for a bit.
Risking it for the biscuit.
We need to trade. We need to trade food. Our gold won't get us far there. So
Merek.
does anyone have any of the bags of food left that
I
we
do
could
not.
fit into the?
Yeah, we have 13. We have 13 pounds of food left. Which
we think
Merek would sorry, mistake. 12 pounds of food, which Merek would gladly offer to you guys.
Do we think that that would be approximately enough, or I have some other stuff I could trade, but
You think you probably need some more
okay.
trade,
Well,
but
we
it's worth a try.
God damn,
necessarily
I have to
have
switch one of my
to
spells after long rest.
trade for anything.
I have some stuff.
We could, you know, if we're in dire need, we've helped out the town a lot, yet, or you have. Why don't we just borrow it and bring it back? Because we're coming back there, right?
We can't break any laws.
You guys can.
No,
I'm not
we
going.
cannot
Oh
break
yeah.
any law.
Let's see what we. I have some things. Let's see what we can get away with.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get there, and then I'll kind of propose some things for trading. I don't know that I want to go straight to Dimitri.
Okay.
So either maybe Malthael, Luca, kind of anyone else that would maybe first just to see. So yeah, so I'm gonna wild shape into a giant eagle, and Cormac's gonna live out his dreams of riding a giant bird.
Flying in the Bordeaux.
And I'm actually gonna stay though relatively low doing this. Kind of, I'm assuming someone told me about this dragon shape, so I don't want to fly just like straight up in the air. I'll try to be not obvious.
It sounded like the ramblings of an alcoholic, but
and I will go ahead. Well, he's experienced some shit, man. He's like 400-year-old dwarf. Okay. I'll go ahead and cast the tiny hut. That way, they have it there. The rest of the party can be in a climate-controlled environment, have a safe place to rest, and it lasts for 8 hours.
Okay.
So even if we run a little bit late, they should still be covered for a while.
What does your tiny hut look like?
It is a opaque dome, and since we're in sort of a winter environment, it's going to look white, like just a white dome that just sort of melds into the snow. In the trees off the path a little bit, but close enough to where they can still see the road. Y'all can look out of it and see everything around you, but nothing can look in, and nothing can get in that I don't designate able to get in.
So you notice as you're looking kind of out through your tiny hut, it's white color, very apparent. It's opaque white color. You notice very slowly from the ground rising up, there's these tendrils, almost like these black spires that slowly start to climb all over your hut.
No.
And it doesn't happen like instantly. If you're sitting there, this is a 2-hour journey to Kresk. You assume after about an hour or so, like half of the hut is covered.
Well, nothing can get in it, so you'll be safe. You'll just be covered.
So
what happens if something eats it?
Do we recognize? Have we seen these types of tendrils anywhere?
Roll maybe an Arcana check.
I'm dead.
Probably.
Okay. Oh, it was almost a 19. Lisbeth, do you want to? You probably don't have the greatest Arcana roll, but might be
Pretty
worth
sure
a roll.
I have a minus something in Arcana. Oops.
So wait, so who Cormac and Sid are flying, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I have
great.
4 hours per wild shape. So I'd like to make it as far as I can.
Okay. So in this case, Mercer has stayed behind, right?
Yeah.
So
I didn't even roll
Mercer. No, that's okay. So Mercer and Chance, both of you would recognize that is clearly abnormal. Now you remember
Reeves noticed that too.
That's it. That's all you got. When you went through the book, the Tome of Strahd, and you had the vision inside the Amber Temple. You remember that previously, the Amber Temple was, at least from kind of some of the information that you had gathered, was that this temple contained both dark and forbidden lore, but it also was home to a society of monks, of wizards, that protected the Amber Temple. They were good. They were just. There was many of them living and protecting whatever was inside this temple. You maybe get a feeling that even at such a distance, the dark powers has certain effects on magic.
On magic.
Is there any way I could just like pick up this tent and move it like 50 feet down the mountain and put it back up again?
The tiny hut?
The tiny hut. Just kind of shift it so it's not getting grabbed at by stuff.
Can you move the
No,
hut?
you can.
Probably not.
Once it's placed, it's placed.
Can we see the tendrils from inside?
It's a
You can,
10-foot
yeah.
immobile dome of force.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it does say that all other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it. Spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. The atmosphere inside is comfortable and dry regardless of the weather outside. So nothing could get
That is what it says.
We know nothing can get in it.
We don't
Now-
know that if the spell is being affected in some.
Itself at its core. Like it could not be just.
So
something
on a
the
scale
10.
of like 1 to 10, how drunk would Mercer be?
I mean, he is a dwarf. So after one bottle of wine, it's probably wearing off at this point. You know, it's probably getting to the. He's probably a little groggy.
Okay, but is he like, are you sleeping? Are you awake?
Oh no,
scanning?
he's awake.
Okay. Yeah. As Cormac and Sid, as you make your way to Kresk, you said you're seeking out Mathael or
Luca?
somebody else. Luca or even I'm assuming probably kind of the general store.
Yeah. I think
when
I
you
would.
were- Yeah.
I think I just I would like to stay in my form as long as I can. Just I have 4 hours, so I'm hoping I could make it without having to use another one. So I would give like my fine clothes. I have Reeves' fine clothes. I would give the Dryad horn, like a bunch of stuff I have preemptively to Cormac to trade.
Okay. Cormac, when you walk inside, there does appear to be equipment made for hunting in this area. You find you see that there's, I don't know, maybe 15, 16 like fur cloaks, blankets. There's climbers kits, ropes, pitons.
Is there anyone around?
Yeah, like the store owner's there.
Store owner is there.
Wait, before he goes in, Jeff, I have these 2 books that maybe he could trade as well.
They're 2 hours away.
Oh, okay, sorry.
They had
Because
flown away.
if
Oh, they're
Sid's still Eagle,
Yeah, I'm
and
outside.
he's not going into the store with me.
No, I'm not there to judge your moral character. I'm outside waiting for you.
I would probably go in and just look around first and see how much everything, like what we could get, and then I might do something else.
Yeah, when if you were to ask for anything in the store, the owner just asks you what you would like to trade.
Oh, I have some nice jewelry. I have some fine clothes that I can trade you. I have.
We have no need for that. We need new tools, sharp tools, food.
Well,
I'm still
what
in the
about?
process. I'm still in the process of sending you things I was planning on sending you. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I have a
Just taking a
hammer,
minute.
a nice hammer, very good. You know, few leather scraps. Um, but what about information? Hmm? Information to find said things that you need so desperately. And it could be all yours. You wouldn't have to tell a soul.
What is it that I would find?
You would find food. You would find the tools you need to make better gear, to better provide for your family. There is an abundance of these for you. And I will
Roll a
trade.
persuasion check. It's a good thing Merek is not.
Yep. Oh
She
shit!
says, "Yes, please. Tell me where I can find this. You could take what you have, but if you guarantee that my family will have enough to eat through the winter, that is enough."
I absolutely guarantee. There is a manor just southeast of this town. Maybe 30 minutes to an hour walk. Okay? Very easy to get to, light, easy travel. And inside, there is all the food you could imagine. Tools, fine clothes and cloths to make comfortable things to survive the weather.
But why would you not have just brought those here and traded those?
Because I'm currently in a very tricky predicament. I am. It's emergency. I am. As you can see, my pet eagle flying outside. I came here just for quick in and out. You know,
What, the sit here pet eagle?
Yeah, I'm
Probably, but he's a raven,
I don't know.
so that's it's.
Or I'm outside flying around. I don't know.
But I had to come here quickly. My associates that I'm traveling with, they need these supplies in order to continue in their journey. So I do not have the time personally to go and get these things to bring. But
Okay, well, take
I've
what you need.
only told you.
Take what you need. I'll head there right away.
Shovel as much as I can into the bag of holding. Titans, climbing gear, furs, cloths, everything.
All right. Love it.
Look, and this is for you only. Yeah, this trade here. This look, you do not tell a soul, or only those maybe that you trust, because you will need extra hands, of course, to help carry back everything that you find there. You will not be able to carry it all yourself. I will tell you this.
So you're saying you're putting it all in your bag of holding?
All of it's in the bag of holding.
God. Okay.
I'm so glad I didn't go inside.
I am so glad you did not go inside.
This is what having a +9 to persuasion does.
And loose morals.
I mean, regardless, you rolled a nat 20, my dude.
True.
If you take a look what's in your bag of holding now, that should be
A whole shit of stuff.
He's like it.
And
how do I look to see what's
There we go.
in my bag of holding?
If you right-click it and click Edit,
Oh, okay.
because you can see right now you're encumbered technically. I don't know why you're encumbered.
I think
but
I
probably
gave
people
He
gave him a
me
bunch of shit.
stuff.
Yeah, so
that
the
he
bag
didn't
of
put in there.
holding, anything in that bag doesn't count towards your weight.
Right, and I don't know how to add things to the bag of
You
holding.
just drag it.
so- Just
Just
drag
drag
it?
Yep.
Oh,
Drag and
go.
drop.
How many things
Hell
did you have
yeah.
to type in there, Jeff?
So in total, and I will post these to chat so everyone knows what to do, because you think that it will be important. Now, since you've all decided to go into the mountains, I will tell you a few things that will be important to know as we start to head in that direction. That and these are probably the two items that are most important, but I'll just put them all in chat so you can all see them.
Ooh.
Okay, there it is. All right. Sorry, I'm figuring this out here
You're good.
because I gotta move some shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like back in
back in Icewind Dale, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. There's kind of the stuff that he's gotten. He has some ropes as well, but yeah.
Right.
Is it the wolf hunters that I would know?
Yes, indeed you would.
Wow.
So he has enough for everyone in the group for those. Keep in mind, so for the fur cloak, you can just wear it while traveling. It protects you from cold conditions, not extreme cold conditions. Or sorry, no, even in extreme cold conditions. But it gives you a debuff as well. -1 to attack rolls for both melee and ranged weapons. And there's a key item here. If you fall into water, it needs to be dried. Takes a short rest to dry it. For resting, there is the fur blanket. You cannot wear medium or heavy armor while using this to rest. So if you have armor, you have to take it off. That takes an hour time, depending on what level of armor you have. But it does reduce exhaustion, as well as removes the condition. Now, as you start to head into the mountains, I'll tell you off table. There's a reason it's towards the end of the campaign. It is a difficult trek. Outside of that, we'll be running quite a number of skill checks along the way. Is anyone not familiar with skill checks?
Or skill challenges.
Skill challenges, skill checks.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not. I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like.
That's fine. So a skill challenge is very straightforward, I would say. But basically, you'll be given an obstacle of some sort. You'll need to think about what abilities, or rather what skills or abilities you would use to solve that challenge. One character in the group nominates themselves to do the skill challenge. So, for example, if Cormac is great at, say, the skill challenge is persuading somebody, or say, you need to get past a guard, persuading them is one of the options. Cormac would say, I'm going to use persuasion. He rolls the skill check, and it's for the whole party. A skill challenge basically has a certain amount of failures and successes that you need. You obviously need a certain amount of successes to move forward. And it's basically kind of collaborative storytelling, right? So if I say, hey, there's a guard, how do you get by? Cormac says, I persuade them. He can explain how that unfolds. That's pretty much what you need to know. Failure during skill checks is not always like a wall. It's just sometimes a delay in time, which you have limited of.
Okay.
There's no real initiative order. You just kind of call them. So with all of the equipment in tow, you return with your form intact, Seid. As you land back at the hut, I imagine by this time it's almost not fully covered, but like there's definitely gaps where it is, but it's almost as if something is like trying to take hold of this hut that's on this kind of not mountainous road yet, but on this winding path up.
Jeff,
Mhm.
when we take a break, since they were gone for 4 hours, can we retcon that I asked Chance to do something, and I'll explain to you what that was during the break?
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah, why don't we take a break now if that's good for everyone?
I'm sending everybody items as well, so
Yep.
that you all have the fur blanket and fur cloak.
I got mine.
Me
got
too.
mine.
Feeling warm.
Lisbeth, did I send you the cloak yet?
I think I just got the blanket.
Okay. Just making sure that I'm sending it to the right people. I can't send it to Mercer, but that's okay. I know he has it.
I'm assuming this can just go on over.
Yeah.
Because I do technically, I'm already wearing a cloak of
Yeah,
protection.
it just
Wait
kind
a
of goes.
second.
It's kind of like Jon Snow, you know.
Wait a
Double
second.
cloak, pop collar.
Does this count as armor?
It does not.
Good.
Um,
Did you get the cloak, Lisbeth?
I did get the cloak. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm
So why don't
missing one person did not get the cloak.
I did not.
I just sent it to you. All right.
There, confirmed. Now I've got it.
Okay, cool.
So why don't we take a quick break and we start our ascent? Back.
Jeff, do you want to come over here for 2 minutes? Shouldn't take long.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just creating an effect.
Oh, yeah.
So
No rush. I'm not going anywhere.
Reeves, I'm also gonna send you a climbing kit.
Thank you. If you're limited on how many people can get one,
I only have 3.
yeah, maybe favor some other people because I do have my grapple hook, and some items, some like pythons and stuff, pitons.
I have 20 pitons. I mean, I guess I can keep them and just like say I divvy them out to whoever decides to need them at that moment. I can just do that.
Yeah.
But I have 3 climbing kits, and I'm pretty small, so I can just literally hang on somebody's neck and just like, you know.
I can literally carry you while I grapple hook around.
But I'm gonna tell Travis as well, since he's not here, that I had to trade everything in order to get all of this stuff.
interesting.
Like when Cormac shows up and he just like after we like land and get into the hut, I just open up the bag and just like dump out all the stuff that we got. And Travis just being like surprised, like holy shit.
You got to tell him when he's back. Tell him
Yeah.
when he's back.
But you're doing. Oh, anyway, I'm gonna go grab a beer. Oh.
Yep. Yeah. Good idea. I'm just finishing this up. You are wearing the cloak. Boom.
Stream is paused.
Hopefully that works. Melee spell attack, melee weapon attack, range spell attack, range attack. Cool. That should work. Okay. BRB. survival in the mountains, specifically Mount Gakis, that looms overhead. You continue onward, I'm assuming?
Yes. So,
Okay.
can you explain again
Mhm.
what it was doing to the dome?
Yeah, it was almost like these shadowy tendrils coming out of the ground. And they were kind of like, almost like ice, like clinging to the outside of your dome.
And it
was
subtly
the
reminded
dome-
us of the time we spent in the book when we went to the Amber
Yeah.
Temple in the book.
The same kind
So-
of energy. You would also, you didn't feel cold. You feel like your magic, held firm. But you feel like just every few minutes you'd kind of get this feeling like somebody's watching you, or there's like, shivers on your spine.
Did it damage the dome?
It did not. But
Was
you
it-
felt like if
It
you were to
is-
even close your eyes for a few minutes, you kind of get that startling, like, oh, there's like somebody watching me, or like something,
Right.
like, something is not right.
Right. Did it sink it into the ground any at all?
No.
Like it's pushing down. Okay,
Nope,
I'm just asking
it
all
did
these
not.
questions because I need to know. Like, we're not going to be
Yep.
like wake up underground.
In a hole.
I regret that I said that because I now gave him an idea. But
Well,
The horses were not inside this. Did anything?
nothing happened to them. I'm assuming you watched them pretty closely.
Yeah.
we can
Yeah.
see them through the dome. So, like, if anything was going to happen, I assume we still kept checks. Like,
Merek,
like even when we're resting, we would keep checks.
Merek would have been providing watch a lot of the time and making sure the horses were good. Since I have the alert feat and all that good jazz.
I thought you were going to say the horse feet. I was about to be like, that's dope.
Does Reeves believe that those tendrils were targeting the magic specifically?
You roll an Arcana check.
Good question.
That's pretty
rolled
decent.
rolled a 14, so with my Arcana, it's 18.
You think that not necessarily the magic specifically, but perhaps those not maybe aligned with the powers that you experienced in the temple itself.
The people who don't worship death. Or whoever that demon was.
Mm-hmm.
Mercer technically worships death. He worships the Lady of Death.
Even Mercer, you would have felt the same chill.
And same for me because I worship the same.
Yep, you also would have felt the same chill.
The Huntress?
The same chill. All of you.
All of us. We're all chilled. We're on ice.
You think that perhaps it has to do with alignment more than...
Oh, more than worship.
Would Cormac have felt the same chill?
Cormac would have felt the same chill if he was there.
Interesting.
As you make your way up the mountain, you travel through kind of the winding passages for about another half hour. That's when Sid... Where would your weapon be? Ancestral weapon?
I think I'd either be holding it or it would be kind of like on my back. If we're like, I'd probably be holding it, almost using it like a walking stick.
Okay. You would start to hear and feel this energy coming from your spear. It's almost getting like warm to the touch, even in these, colder parts of the beginning of the ascent. And you start to hear whispers, turn back. But it again, the whispers, you're not sure, your weapon's not sentient, that you know of, but it's almost like the wind, is guiding or telling you something.
I think I would just. I don't want to spam commune with nature, but
you want to.
I want to.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess if again like maybe I would like stop the party for 10 minutes and I would kind of I don't want to be as specific and factual this time. It's more of just trying to get a feel for like what is there like what's
Talking
ahead
to you?
in the yeah well well that's another story but more of like I mean I can technically sense like undead and fae and the kind of that kind of stuff within 3 miles. I can understand things about the region's places and people, and maybe just like, does it seem like imminent? Like, is there anything living in front of us? Kind of sense. Is this just like a dead area, or what am I feeling?
So you're asking because I think you get 3 facts. So you're asking specifically
Yeah.
for like creatures in this area.
Yeah, like what's the vibe? What's kind of the feeling of creatures?
You do
ahead,
sense you sense some wildlife, birds. You think just other small mammals.
any sense of like undead in the 3 miles?
No.
I don't have like a great question for this, but it's more of just trying to like you imagine a druid like hearing these things in their head and trying to like touch the ground and the land and try to see what it's trying to tell me.
Do you want to roll just a nature check?
Sure.
Oh,
Pretty
nice.
good.
Okay. So as you kind of open up your senses and channel your magic, while the rest of the party kind of waits for your determination, you sense just off the road, about a mile up the road, a small, not overgrown, but an unused trail that leads into a very small valley. And within the valley, you get a feeling of some sort of circular ring of stones that's set in the valley.
And would it give me the similar sense of the stones we saw in Yesterhill?
Yes.
I wonder if I'm actually drawn to that in the sense of like that's kind of where the spear was. That's the essentially conditions that we found the spear in to begin with. So is it a sense of fear of this kind of feature, or is it a sense of like just the knowledge that it's there?
It's a sense of great power.
The one thing that's a challenge is we don't know where the hags are on this mountain. We don't know if they're at the Amber Temple, right? We just know they went up the mountain path.
They had a similar circle next to their house.
Yeah. The hags are undead, are they not, Jeff?
No, they're fae.
They are fae.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting that.
But they had one of those circles next to the windmill, didn't they?
Yeah.
Similar, but you don't think that they put it there? Like it was well before their time.
All the children's teeth, isn't that?
That's where we found it.
That's definitely where they channeled clearly to some sort of deity, but it was not built by them.
Oh, but maybe they're drawn. Maybe they're drawn to those.
The pastry chiclets.
Yep.
I think I just don't think we can necessarily like so there's like a path potentially down to this ring, and then there's another path that keeps going up the mountain. Is that basically a choice?
Yeah, you can see the ring from the road. It's not far. Yeah. But yeah, so we could say that you make it to that area a mile down the road.
Yeah, I'm thinking we don't want to skip it because we just don't. We could just walk right past where the hags are without knowing it. That's my concern.
Well, so you were able to cleanse it last time, weren't you?
I was. I don't know. This maybe I would get a sense that this seems more powerful or similarly powerful. I don't know.
non sequitur here. Jeff, can I, since I spent 4 hours in that hut, can I attune to Irina's sword?
You most definitely can.
Did you find out what that thing does?
I just took a bit of time to investigate it.
Da-da-da.
Give me a moment here.
It's just a +2 rapier.
It's
It is
better than
not.
any other weapon I have.
The key is to combine Strahd's and Irina's together like Maul's saber.
Darth Maul, yeah.
Like Darth Maul. Or
balance the
or
power of good and evil all in one weapon.
Elden
Cal-Kestis.
Ring. Yeah.
Oh my god, that beer's going down good.
Oh, by the way, Matt, you're helping Chance work on that thing I DM'd you about.
I refuse.
Okay, so for Irina's rapier, do you, when you attune to something, someone correct me, when you attune to it, do you learn its properties as well?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. As you attune to this weapon, you might like it. You might not. It is a +2 silvered rapier. Additionally, as you spend some time looking over its hilt, the crafting of this rapier, and remembering some of the details, both from Strahd's book, but also, just Barovian history with your time spent here, you believe that this weapon, this rapier, was given to the Indirovich family. It is clearly a family heirloom. You notice the Indirovich family crest is engraved in the hilt. You believe, strangely, you have a feeling that a long, long while ago, the reason why the Indirovich family remained in power in the village of Barovia was for their service to none other than the Strahd Bonzarovich family. And you believe this weapon to be a gift. In addition to it being a +2 magical silver rapier, as you attune to it, you also gain the Sentinel feat.
No.
Sweet.
I don't know what that is. Wait.
Didn't Mercer?
Wait,
You-
who
you
just
turn-
who just got that?
You turn into a suit of armor to hide from people.
No, the
That's what
Sentinel
it is.
feat in 5e makes it so that when you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, their speed becomes 0. So if somebody's trying to run from you, they don't. If somebody disengages from you, you still get an opportunity attack. And additionally, you can use your reaction to make an attack against somebody if somebody next to you gets hit.
Shit. Okay.
Irina was a tougher fighter than she let on, clearly.
I mean, she was weak to lightning, but
she was weak to lightning. It was very effective.
How dare you?
Too soon.
I do lose a sneak attack dice by using that instead of my
You would, yeah.
instead of my ancestral dagger, but still.
But you could at least damage, things that are resistant to non-magical damage.
Yeah. And so I can, cause a rapier is a one-handed weapon, right?
Yep.
So I can still have that in my offhand, and for my main attack, I can attack someone with my sneak attack on my ancestral weapon, and then if somebody I can basically use those extra attacks, like the opportunity attacks, with my offhand weapon. Can I do that?
Don't you need?
Yep.
I thought, or is rapier main hand only?
It's technically it's well Jeff, you let me play it in Icewind Dale as a.
That's offhand.
Well, you let me
Do it
play it
now.
as a main hand with a dagger in my offhand, but it didn't really. I don't think it actually matters in 5e. You're
I
not.
don't think so either.
It's like your second bonus action attack, whatever you choose, I
Yeah.
think is technically your offhand.
And technically, I don't lose anything by using my dagger in my offhand because it's
Nope.
Yeah.
It's the light. Yeah, it's a light weapon.
Yep.
I don't think so.
So
You
yeah,
don't
we
lose
could say
anything.
I keep the rapier in my main hand and my ancestral
Cool.
dagger in my offhand. Perfect. Cool.
All
That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, good thing that you remembered to check that. Yeah, as you're at this path, like I said, the path continues up for sure. But there is a small path that, like I said, leads down into almost like this valley with kind of mountainous cliffs on both sides. And yeah, there's a stone circle.
Yeah, I would certainly kind of like indicate that to the party, and I have no idea what signs to look for the hags, but maybe anything that is reminiscent. I don't know. Anything hags would be interested in, try to see if they would.
Mercer would recognize these types of stones as well, and he would definitely, if you wanted to go explore it, Sid, he would definitely come along with you, 100%. I mean, he remembers what happened last time. He was there when it happened last time, when you put the spear into the ground. Like, and he's pretty good with religion as well, religion checks. So
yeah,
if you want to go,
I imagine the whole party would go down there. Yeah, I wasn't going to go by myself.
Yeah,
so.
Reeves definitely has a calling to the circle.
Okay.
You're looking for more teeth?
Is
Maybe.
so?
That might be it.
Lisbeth, Chance, Merek, you're all heading down as well, or are you anyone staying up at the main road?
How far did you say it was again?
It's like, I don't know, a 3-minute walk.
So a couple
Definitely not
hundred
the
feet.
road.
Yeah, probably 500.
We could take the
feet,
carriage down to it, right? We could just like take the
you
carriage
cannot.
down.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
But you can, but you probably can't get back out. Is the
Yeah, I think judging how far it is, I would ask if Merritt would ask to tend to the carriage, since where we are right now, it's kind of important to have it as long as we can.
A Wendigo might attack us.
Yeah,
Might attack the horses.
Cormac will stay with the carriage with you.
Yeah, it's 500 feet. It's not like we're separating super far.
You'd miss a whole fight.
Dimension or distance. So
No, you could
there you go.
shoot that far at disadvantage.
True.
Yep.
I think so.
Elizabeth and Chance.
I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Chance is gonna.
Lisbeth is just in the back of the carriage. He's just gonna chill there. They wanna go check
Right.
it out.
As you approach this circle, like this circle of stones, as you make your way, kind of, like I said, through this valley, you almost come up to like an overlook of sorts where these standing stones are set. As you look to your left, Sid, you see in the distance the same type of standing stones in the distance of Yester Hill. You can see you've now climbed. You're probably about at the top of the tree of Yester Hill as far as elevation wise.
And if I look toward the direction of the bone grinder,
you'd be well above it.
But does it seem like there's this nice, I don't know, patterned triangle between this?
There does seem to be a triangle, pointing in this way. And as you walk maybe to the western side, again, overlooking towards Yester Hill, there are these 5 giant, ancient boulders. They are moss covered, just as the ones at the Bone Grinder, just as the ones at Yester Hill were. And 4 of them, 4 out of the 5, seem to bear carvings. They seem to resemble these different cities. And the 5th one has this ancient runic script that's written on it. Most of it is weathered with age, but you think maybe you could still read parts of it. You do notice all 5 of them face this very smooth and flat stone, 3 feet across, that lies at the edge of the ring.
So can I actually read any of the words off of this thing, or are they?
I assume you can.
Sir.
Yeah. Okay. As you try to read it, Chance, it looks it's a foreign script to you. You expect it to be Druidic, but you unfortunately have no idea what it says. And I've put it in the chat, and I believe only Sid can read what it says.
It's a lot of.
Those are Pokemon.
Yeah,
Mhm.
little dudes.
I missed that. My camera lagged out.
It's like that door opening all over again, where we're like,
So
Dancing the Macarena.
Do you want me to read it out, Sid, or would you like to keep it to yourself?
Let me just finish reading it.
No rush.
No rush. I'll read it out loud as I kind of like run my hands over it.
It is in very ancient dialect of Druidic. You would know that immediately. It's even difficult for you to read, and kind of like you're translating some of the words into more common words. But it says, "Slice the flesh and paint the basin, an offering to her ancient home. The blooming petals, the burning sun, the falling leaves, the silent snow. Let thought guide you to the world within. Let dark wings lead and echoes weave. Let not their flame go out."
I guess.
And the feeling of your weapon is like it's almost like a burning, like it's like getting hot.
Yeah, which is similar to what was happening before at the Bone Grinder, right? Would Sid have any other insights into what this means beyond what I think I'm supposed to do, which is like slice my hand open and put blood on something?
I think we know
better than that.
I think we know what we need to do, but does the rest of that imply danger as a result?
Yeah, good or bad. Yeah.
You almost feel like as you're holding your staff, it's almost like trying to turn.
Like turn away.
Like with the blade.
Oh.
It wants to do it.
Yeah, no. I imagine I'm feeling this kind of internal pressure. I think I would be almost compelled to do it. And so maybe you all kind of see me. I read this out loud, and maybe as I'm reading it, you would hear kind of almost a little more intensity and maybe flavor-wise. I don't know if it's actually magical, but flavor-wise, you would hear some kind of like a little bit more of a louder than our sneakiness. I'm like kind of booming voice as I read the end of it, and I think I would. I think he would slice his hand open with the blade of the spear, and then
can't believe you'd do that to Merek.
And then start turning it toward the earth to plunge it in. I mean, people can try to stop me if they want. I would in that moment.
Mercer would know this, but since they're all sort of facing that flat rock, I feel like that might be the place where you need to wipe your hand on.
Yeah, paint that basin.
Paint that basin, because it does say
basin. That's kind of what I was asking, if Sid has any insights that I don't. I would do whatever it seems like Sid is compelled to do in this moment.
So let's walk. Does everybody who's there, do you want to roll maybe a history check?
Sure. Main.
Bad.
Anybody who's not me or including me?
No, including you.
Oh, well, that's okay.
Bad. All bad.
Yeah, it's okay. 16's not terrible.
14's not bad either.
Can I use my flash of genius on myself?
Sure. Yeah. Chance, as you kind of walk around the 4 large stones on the outside, the one at the, what we'll say, kind of the north side, you notice this carving as you kind of wipe away some of the grime. You see a carving of a city that's in the midst of spring, and it's kind of surrounded by these beautifully carved flowers. Walking to the next, you see a city that's in the midst of summer, with the sunburst symbol overhead. The 4th one seems to be a city that's in the midst of autumn, covered in leaves, and the 5th, a city in the midst of winter, covered in snow.
The same city or different cities?
Different cities. Thinking back through some of the books that you've read, Chance, and with some of the information that you have gathered, both about the Morning Lord, but also about Mother Night. You remember that there are ancient stories that some, priests, some scholars in Barovia have kind of passed down through generations that tell of 4 cities said to be the cities of paradise, the cities where the Morning Lord, Mother Night, and other ancient gods first dwelled. As you slice your hand open in the middle of the circle, similar to what you've done before, and just before you're about to plunge the spear down into the ground, you get this overwhelming feeling as the blood kind of drips and soaks into the soil. You get this strange feeling that something is underneath your feet. An object.
Would that be enough to kind of interrupt and...
Yep.
And I would, as I'm about to plunge it down and see something in my way, maybe I would reach down and wipe away what's there and see what's there.
Okay. As you wipe kind of some of the dirt away, put in the ground in a very strange way, almost as if just years and years of dirt and grime eventually buried this object. As you kind of dig away a little bit, you find a stone box. There is a symbol that's carved on the lid of the stone box. It appears to be an eye. Symbol of an eye.
Symbol of an eye? Have we seen this before?
Would any of that stuff would have appeared in one of the books that I found in Strahd's library?
It would not have. You would never have seen this symbol before. But if you want to roll maybe a religion check and see what you know. Ooh. A 20. Mercer, you kind of immediately recognize the symbol. And I would say, as pretty much the moment that he says this, Merek, you don't recognize it, but you know.
He's not there.
You're not there. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm at the carriage. Sorry.
So Mercer, you would immediately recognize this as, you believe, a symbol of one of the 3 Fanes.
I would.
Which one's the mountain?
You know that the mountain Fane is the Seeker.
Seeker. Makes sense.
Oh, yeah. Does it look like a Sheikah temple or whatever from Zelda?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I think I would maybe open the box.
Okay.
Opening bed doors.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
As you open the box, all of you are immediately surprised when Sid is completely turned to stone. No, just kidding. As you open the box, there's a bowl inside.
Well, the basin.
Oh, there you go.
So maybe I was doing it wrong.
It's okay. We all do it wrong our first time.
Not every nail needs a hammer. I think I would take some of the blood that has come on the spear, and I would drip that into the bowl.
Okay.
I thought we were just letting Sid do these,
We know you're smart enough,
pagan
and
rituals.
you don't seem like you're possessed or anything.
One day, this assumption's gonna bite you in the
It's
ass.
gonna
That
get us
day
in trouble.
might be today.
This is our secret goal of just letting you bleed out on your own, over time.
Speaking
Guys.
of bleeding out, as you as you kind of like cut your hand and the wound maybe slowly drips, as the bowl just some of the drops from your spear reach the bowl, your hand begins to bleed excessively to the point where the entire bowl fills up
Oh
to the
my
brim.
god.
That's a lot of blood.
Yep. Yeah, it is. Oh, I rolled really low though, so that's good.
It's
You
too
take
much blood.
12 points of damage.
Okay, that's
What-
could be worse.
What did you roll?
I rolled 2 1s on my d6s.
How many d6s?
4.
That could be worse.
Yeah,
It
it could be a lot worse.
I got a 6, a 1, I think a 1, something.
What type of damage?
It is
Blood.
blood damage.
Blood damage.
It is the blood type of damage.
Damage over time.
Emotional damage, some of it.
Emotional damage.
That part is Jeff does not know that.
It's okay. It doesn't.
So yeah, that's What would you like to do? You kind of have this bowl full of blood in your hands.
It's very serious about this. He's very serious about this.
Yeah.
Quick, someone get him a cookie and an orange.
Slice the flesh and paint the basin, an offering to her ancient home. The blooming. So maybe I would make.
What is the Seeker's city?
The blooming petals, the burning sun, falling leaves.
You think those are references to the cities that are carved on the...
Yeah. Let thought guide you to the world within. Let dark wings lead, echoes weave. Let not their flame go out. Is there anything that would look obviously like the Seeker's home here? Maybe I would ask the group or ask Mercer.
I recognize anything about that?
You don't recognize like a specific home necessarily that you remember.
There's so there's the flat stone that they're all facing towards, right?
Yeah.
So there's a flat stone.
I mean, that's the obvious one.
Can I inspect that using my stone cunning?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead
and see if maybe there's like a door, a hinge, if it's like like some sort of crypt.
Right.
So I get advantage on the history check for this.
I'm thinking mountains are icy, so winter city.
Okay, so we'll go with the 18.
Okay, you definitely believe there to be a like this is definitely an ancient structure, a structure that you think was carved long before you think even Strahd took hold of these lands. You notice as you kind of look around, maybe pushing some rubble to the side, you see perhaps what was once, and it's by kind of that main stone, what was once maybe an entrance of sorts, like almost like a staircase that could potentially have led down, but it's like completely crumbled and broken away.
Okay. Well, I mean, would I have any idea on the best way to possibly clear that out?
Quiet those horses down, Merek, please.
Yeah, I think I've got a bowl full of blood. I think there's something simpler here. I mean, that happened pretty magically and quickly. So maybe I would take a handprint of blood and walk up and touch it to the bare stone.
Yeah, when you do so, nothing happens.
It's just
This is a nice handprint. Yeah.
Just keep going. Just keep all the stones.
I'm just really convinced Sid is smarter about this stuff than I am. So is there anything Sid knows?
So the fact that there are carvings on each one of the stones, with reference in the Druidic script to them, you think that definitely plays a part. You believe that the first step has been completed.
Maybe. What about potentially walking to each of those stones and making
Okay.
An offering
As
of
you
the
walk
blood.
to the first
Oh
stone,
my god.
as you walk to the first stone, and Merek and Lisbeth, because it might be more fun if you're both kind of involved in this as well. I assume maybe you would see this taking place, and maybe Merek, you could tie the horses up.
Make a scarecrow.
Make a scarecrow.
Yeah, we could see it when Merek sees Sid like cutting himself. The click would go, yeah, we should go see what they're doing.
Well, I was gonna say last time we did this stuff, this was related to the Huntress. It was related to kind of the, these are your kind of some of your kind of deal.
Yeah, exactly. So probably seeing you cut yourself open would prompt me to get there.
Grab
Around
Cormac
time that
by
you
the
step up to
scruff.
first. Yeah, this is important things are afoot.
He's still sleeping. You've got him like cradled like a baby as you're running.
I would tell Lisbeth to grab him by the hair and drag him. I don't care.
Is Lisbeth gonna oblige?
I don't know that. Yeah, maybe it's not gonna be that bad with Cormac this time around.
Nah, he just pick him up and take him.
Okay.
She
Like a
owes me.
little babe.
She owes me.
All right. Yeah, as you hold this bowl to
Wait, so since we get there, before he does anything, would Merek recognize anything of anything going on here? Obviously, I know the eye symbolizes the Huntress and her ever
Seeker.
watchingness with the
Seeker.
Raven. Or sorry, the Seeker. What did I say?
The Huntress.
I love the Huntress. The Seeker,
Obviously.
the eye, referencing the ever watching ravens and all that.
Yep.
Would I know anything more about what's going on here?
Probably not with the checks that have been rolled. There's a what's it called? 24.
Could I roll a check?
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to roll the same nature check. Let's see, 24. Oh, almost a nat 20.
Okay, well, Merek knows more about the Huntress than anything else, so sorry, I'm just gonna watch what's going on.
As you stand in kind of the center of the circle, you start to get this overwhelming feeling. And that's when, just as you start to point it towards the first season, spring, all of a sudden mist kind of starts rising out of the ground, and there's this strange silvery white light that as soon as you get close to the pillar of spring, a quarter of the blood immediately dissipates into this silvery mist and fog. And that's when, kind of shooting out from this hillside monument of sorts, it shoots out towards Yester Hill, towards the old bone grinder, but also towards the river valley that you can see below to your right, the swamps. As you do so, it starts to kind of envelop you. The myths kind of serpentine around you, and they start to like tighten and constrict. And that's when the fire in the bowl slowly grows and grows and becomes more than just, normal fire. It's almost this ethereal light. It's not hot. It's just, cool, crisp, all around you. But that's when a strange thing happens. All of the landscape around you begins to vanish, and the mists rise, almost as if your mind is kind of being clouded in this fog. And when you open your eyes, you find yourself on a hilltop. But all of the companions, all of your team members around you, your party members, they are no longer solid. You notice they're all this translucent and blurred silhouette. And you notice that the same mist that was coming from your bowl, they're all drawn in this mist. And it's almost like this ice. You look to the west. You remember looking over Yester Hill, and at where you are now, you can see past Yesterhill. You remember the village that was down in the distance where the bells rang? Well, from here you can clearly see that fog wall, a place where it's almost like it's being pulled apart, almost like a curtain that's making space for something that you can't see below. That's when you hear beside you a sharp caw and some flapping wings as a large raven begins to guide you down the path. You believe that as part of the riddle, you have found the world within.
Taking notes. But dark wings lead and echoes weave, let not their flame go out. So yeah, I think I would follow the raven. Dark
Okay.
wings lead and echoes weave.
All right. Those
Are
of you...
we- Yeah, I was gonna say, do we see like Sid like disappeared?
That's where... No.
Oh, no.
Those of you standing around, you see that Sid's body, perfectly alive, but eerily still. Almost like a wax statue that's just standing there with this bowl of 3/4 filled with his own blood. You notice that there's like kind of this shimmer of mist around him, but it's he's still there.
And the bowl of blood, do we see fire in the bowl? Like,
You do not.
Oh, what the hell?
Do we light it on fire?
An offering or to her
I wouldn't.
push and paint the basin and offering to her home.
Now, as you all stand there, looking at Sid's body, that's when this thick black smoke starts to kind of like roll down the terraces of this valley. And you notice that it kind of like it's all hanging just all around you. And it's almost like there's this thunderstorm that's here. You know, there's these black clouds that come rolling in over the hills, but there's no rain, there's no sound of thunder, but it's like it's as if you're in this sea of black smoke, black mist.
Does it feel caused by what Sid did, or does it feel like something else is responding to what
You definitely believe it's whatever Sid has begun.
Oh, no.
triggered all of
is-
these
is-
things at once?
Yeah. Now, you notice that as this mist kind of pours into this valley, it starts to take shape. Smoky silhouettes of, specifically one man, a man that perhaps some of you recognize, a broad-shouldered man. He's got dark hair that extends past his waist. And that's when he puts his handprint onto Sid's handprint that was on the stone. That's when you hear him as he kind of, he's this smoky figure. He turns to all of you and says, "I'd hoped that it would not come to this." And as soon as he speaks, you hear the voice, you believe, of the same spirit that you met on Yesterhill. He continues, "The curse upon this land, this place of rest, demands our defiance. Cease your mission, go in peace, or your friend will perish."
We need to.
Mercer just steps in front of Sid, in between him and the man Smoke, and just kind of gives him a look like, "Come and fucking try it."
We will cleanse this land, one way or another. You can help us, or you can oppose us, but we stand a better chance with your support. What can we do to help him?
This place, the mountains, it's a place where the air, the earth, they meet. It's where the land becomes the rolling thunder. this spirit, this seeker. It was more than just a lady of sight. She was the arbiter of storms. Her fane still remembers that power. We still remember. If you insist on standing against the storm, just know that that storm will stand against you.
We are prepared to face the storm. What can we do to help Seid now?
There's not much that you can do. And he kind of reiterates, you should end the ritual now before your friend gets lost in that whispering wall.
How do we know when it's too late? I still have faith in his abilities, but how do we know when he's lost?
Sense of direction.
He kind of fades away, and as he does, he says, I've been called. The curse I bear calls my name, my spear once more. Seid, you find yourself, here we go. You find yourself on a dirt path. A dirt path that seems to wind through the fog, and in the mist you see silhouettes, outlines of events, creatures and places that once were, even that perhaps may yet be, or perhaps places that just never existed at all. After several minutes of travel along the path, you step forward once more, and you emerge into a lush mountain valley. There's acres of beautiful trees that climb the slopes of tall snow-capped peaks, and the soil is this rich, earthy brown. The sky overhead is this beautiful, almost like home, cerulean blue. Through the trees' canopies, you can hear chirping birds, the distant cry of a fox, as well as a small river that flows past. The crunch of your boots upon the mulch underneath you draws your eyes westward, and there you see a small band of human men and human women dressed in deerskin hides and wolf pelts. Many of them are clearly weary, their clothes ragged, their figures gaunt. And their gazes are not upon you, but instead they watch the tree line, with bows, with spears, with axes, all at the ready. With that, we'll switch back. Those of you standing around Seid, you start to hear the dark clouds overhead crackle and rumble with ominous portent. And then a massive bolt of lightning, just as a few days previous, strikes the earth at the center of the circle. And it's a thunderous wave of force that batters from all sides. The earth around you begins to pulse, swelling like a boil, as boulders around you tremble and quake. Here's where we will go into a skill challenge. Those of you in the quote-unquote physical realm have a little bit more than a minute until I find this thing. You have approximately a minute to decide how you would like to get around this skill challenge as a rock slide starts to take place from rocks above. You think at this point it is protecting the ritualist.
I can cast anti-life shell, which should prevent anything. No, that's just creatures. Damn it! Fuck.
You think this is threatening to crush all of you beneath this rock.
Do we think a wind wall would help us in this case? A wall
Wind
of
wall.
strong wind rises from the ground at a point
range, you can make a wall up to 50 feet long, 15 feet high, and 1 foot thick.
To
Usually
divert
walls
the
for,
rolling
like-
rocks.
Yeah.
It's for like usually smaller projectiles and like fog and
Yep.
stuff are affected
You think
by
it's more
wind
for small
wall.
projectiles.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
We skill challenge. It doesn't have to be spells. It can be
Doesn't
just
have to be
you're gonna
skills. It
do
could be
things.
skills.
Yeah. Can I use my perception to find enough materials to build just small, like almost small ramps, just to any rolling rocks to divert them away from us?
Okay. Yeah. Roll a perception check.
I'm just gonna let the computer do it.
Mhm.
18.
8. Yeah, as you maybe find kind of the optimal route where the rocks are landing, where they're falling, do you want to explain maybe how you guide
Yeah.
the party?
Basically just seeing the shape of the mountain and the way the rocks are rolling, I'm actually going to put other rocks in their path to just divert them into you just using the shape of the mountain, just really not fighting anything at all, just encouraging them to go in the path that they would want to take if they weren't headed straight for us.
Okay. Sid, as you look at these figures, the human men and women staring at the tree line, one of the tall women who bears this crown of antlers on her head turns towards you and beckons you over. She's clearly practiced this many times as her battle axe kind of leads you to her.
I'll approach.
Okay. You see, as you approach, she's got this very almost regal stance, but there is this like silent plea in her eyes. She says, "Prepare yourself, friend. The hunters have come." She gestures towards her companions, and she says, "I am called Shuka, the Lady of Sight. Foretold that we would meet a traveler. Sorry, the Lady of Sight foretold that we would meet a traveler here beneath the peak of Mount Gakis. Can we count on your aid in this battle?"
You can.
Those of you in the material world, as the rocks come crumbling down from this rock slide, that's when you notice a similar corruption, a similar bleeding and blighted root that you noticed coming from Yester Hill reach up, grabbing each one of you. All of your limbs start to basically feel as though they are being crushed. What would you like to do?
I can cast. I can use my censure to cast a beacon of hope or a divine glow to try to maybe push out these dark tendrils.
Love it. Yeah. Do you want to maybe explain what happens?
So you've noticed that since you gave Mercer the censure, it's been literally like attached to his shield, and or slung. It's been close to him. It's been on his person this entire time, and he's just gonna hold it up. And as he does, he's just gonna give it like a couple swings, and as it like swings back and forth, the glow from it starts to just get brighter and brighter and brighter until this almost halo of radiant light surrounds us in this 15-foot sphere, just sort of kind of melting away these tendrils.
Awesome.
What does it smell like?
Cookies.
Remember, cookies, not pastries.
Cookies
okay?
that Mercer likes, though.
Close enough for
Smells
Reeves.
like him. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very dwarven cookies. It's almost like hardtack. So,
Yeah.
Sid, in the distance, the howls of some sort of wolf pack ring through the trees, steadily growing closer and closer. And that's when the raven that's guided you down this path caws in defiance and lands atop a branch just beside the woman's shoulder. You notice that Kuka, clearly a leader of her tribe, has some formidable warriors with her, but they're also clearly transporting a group of weary and wounded, you assume to be commoners as well as children. Shuka shares with you as these wolves, as the basic prepare for the arrival of these wolves, that the Lady of Sight, whose name is the Seeker, has guided this group to this valley. They call this valley Sarunos, meaning place of peace. The group has traveled very, a very long way to come here, where the Seeker basically told them they'll find peace, find shelter, find food, a home, a haven for them and their descendants, a place to live forever. They just entered a few days ago, but they know that they need to establish a camp and they have to defend themselves from the woods. She continuously refers to you in conversation as traveler. Yeah, what would you like to do?
If there's this like impending, like there's literal like about to be attacked by wolves like kind of right now, then
like within you think within like maybe a minute or two. Like,
yeah, okay.
Like they're
Then I think what I would say to her, and maybe even hold, if this is the spear with me.
It is.
Okay, I will kind of like grip the spear tighter and say to her, the land will not forsake you here. Ask for its help, and it will come. And I will cast Conjure Fae.
Oh.
Conjure Woodland Beings, and I will summon. I'm going to get a bunch of people. So sprites, which are 1/4 CR. So however many of those I can summon. I think I can summon the maximum amount. 8. So 8 sprites.
Okay.
And basically have them. Whatever the flavor looks like, you'll see kind of creatures of this region kind of emerging from the trees, and like they were there all along, kind of thing.
Cool.
And they will kind of emerge and set up a line of short bow, like a firing line, kind of amongst the trees, readying arrows with their poisoned arrows and stuff like that.
Amazing. Yeah, what happens, I guess, when this combat breaks out?
Yeah, I think the wolves would kind of be coming down the hill, or maybe coming for the party, and you would see, maybe what you would see is arrows kind of flying out from the trees as they're rushing down the hill, and you'd see them kind of blinking into sight from their invisibility, and kind of just showing that the forest itself is kind of protecting these people. Yeah.
Right.
And you kind of hear me talking in Druidic, kind of guiding their attacks and guiding their presence.
Yeah. As the battle rages on, there is a total of 7 wolves that appear from the woods. You believe that their band, even with the 3 warriors that she has with her, would not have been enough to thwart the attack. But with the help of your woodland creatures, your fey creatures, they're able to defeat all of the wolves. When the battle ends, you notice that Shuka, reaching into her bag, grabs out this smooth, flat stone that has a similar carving to that which you saw on the Pillar of Spring. They're sprouting flowers. She points into the distance towards the sound of the river that you had heard as well, and she says, travel north from here until you come to a place where the peaks of 2 pines touch. Pass between them, and the Lady of Sight will guide you to your next destination. As she says that, the raven caws and takes to the air and looks down at you.
I will follow it. I will kind of nod and take care of yourself, take care of the land, and it will take care of you, and kind of follow the Raven.
Okay. Those of you in the physical world, as the blighted roots kind of get pushed back into the earth, their crumbling roots almost gives way to this sinkhole, this devouring earth, as all of the land beneath your feet feels like it's crumbling away, devouring you. What would you all like to do?
You're
I think you're muted.
I can hear you though.
Have I been mute? I've been muting for a while, haven't I?
I think you have, yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Well, okay, well that explains a lot of things. I thought you guys were just ignoring me.
I try to.
Yeah, you tried. Okay, so when you say the land beneath our feet, is that
Think like a devouring earth.
Yeah, but does that include where
Sinkhole.
does that include where Sid is as well
does.
and the pillars?
It does.
So everything is like at risk of just sinkholing down. I would throw the experimental elixir of healing to Lisbeth and tell her to drink it so she can fly because she's the strongest one of us. And maybe that'll come in handy. Merek doesn't have a whole lot to do here.
Okay. So what do you hope to gain with Lisbeth's flying?
That if the ground does give way, she has rope and we can all hang like a magical flying helicopter.
Okay.
Pretty smart actually.
This is the only thing.
Love it.
Like
Yeah.
Merek is limited on what he can do here.
Lisbeth, do you want to roll an athletics check? If you're okay being nominated for this scenario.
Inspiration.
Does Tosh not realize she's been muted the entire time?
Is Tosh muted?
No, is she?
Oh,
I did say yeah, I guess.
All right.
Try rolling it, but that's not very great. So
You have inspiration and then advantage on inspiration, and I give you a D8 of inspiration.
okay, so I'll re-roll it.
All right.
Man. Helicopter.
oh yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you want to maybe explain what this looks like, Lisbeth or Merek? I guess either one.
I have no idea what he had in mind.
I will say, seeing this happen, I will throw a rope to everybody so that we're all holding on to the same rope.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can now fly.
Flying.
And it's
I wrapped it around you,
I feel
Sid.
like-
I wrapped it around you.
I feel like I wouldn't really like be able to hold everybody while even if I was flying.
With a
I
22,
feel like-
you definitely can.
That's what the athletics check is for.
I know,
Yeah,
but I'm thinking more like gravity.
Yeah. That's fair.
It's a D&D.
This is
But I would think
like
like
a
if he guaranteed me the ability to fly, it would give me like I could hold on to you guys while like literally jumping for like something that's not sinking, like a tree or a rock or something that's still rooted.
But that's the potion of flying. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
but
the ground
yeah.
is still doing some of the work, just not
Yeah.
all of the work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very nice. As Lisbeth, you look for a safe place on the ground, and Merek, as you give Lisbeth this potion, you throw your rope, Reeves, and as Lisbeth kind of catches it and just barely takes off from the ground, holding onto this rope. Some of you do sink down a little bit, but you manage to avoid pretty much any the worst of it. It's mostly like pebbles and bits of dirt that kind of come rushing past you. Returning back to you, Sid. As you continue to follow this this raven, after you follow it, traveling north for several minutes, and soon after a very small creek, you find a place just as described, where two conifers grow on opposite sides of a small gully, where they touch at their peaks. You notice that across this gully, a log is laid between them, forming a small triangle of sorts.
I will approach.
Okay. As you approach, and perhaps while holding this stone, you believe stone of spring, close to you, and with the raven following close behind, you feel as though your mind is being pierced, but this stone that you have in your possession blocks any harmful effects that would come to you. That's when you find something different. You find as sorry, we'll switch back to physical world. As you've
No.
thwarted not only a rock slide, blighted roots, and some sort of devouring earth, you wonder what sort of foul magic could be at play, and you wonder if this spirit that warned you to end the ritual, perhaps it was right. As you stand around and as things slowly start to quiet down, as if spring is coming to an end, the summer starts to take hold. The air starts to grow thick and stale as this hot wind blows across the hilltop. It is most definitely unnatural. Your shadows, as you look down towards the ground, begin to twist and shimmer, as if cast by bodies other than yourselves. That's when, once again, this black miasma settles over the sky, darker than ever before. That's when you notice, as you look next to you, Reeves, Seid's shadow slowly walks up to Mercer as it grabs Mercer's throat. And that's when you notice it's not just Seid's shadow, it's the rest of yours as well. What would you all like to do?
Is he still like
I love your reaction.
Is Sid
Travis
still translucent?
Instant panic.
is what? Sorry,
Is Sid still translucent?
Or
He is.
waxy. Yeah.
Yes.
Waxy.
Okay, is Mercer physical or translucent now?
Oh, he's been physical the whole time.
Okay, I would rush immediately over to Mercer and try and pull him out of Sid's grasp.
No, Sid's not
Shadows.
Shadows are
Everybody's
grasping.
shadow.
Oh, okay. Did maybe Jeff cut out or something? Because I understood that. Say that again.
The shadows of all of the party are attacking the party.
Oh, okay. That is really easy. I got a solution for this.
You got like 10 seconds to do it.
Yeah, Merek would start spreading. You remember the lake water I collected?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, before the pool lost its effect.
Okay.
Right on the shadows.
Burn them all.
Okay. Yeah. What happens? I love it.
Well, wait. Okay. So you see Merek fumbling a bit in his pouch because usually I'm going for poisons and not what I believe is holy water, and then finally I pull the vials out, open them like grenade style with my teeth, and start aspersing. Was it aspersion? The aspersion?
Dispersing.
No. When you sprinkle holy water, it's called aspersion or something like that. All over the shadows of everybody.
All right.
And does it have a good effect or a negative effect, Jeff?
It roll maybe like a religion check, I guess, or like a.
Well, it's more to say what it looks like if it dispels the shadow is what I was getting at.
Yeah. So roll your skill.
If it works, I want this.
Or even sleight of hand because you're kind of throwing it.
Yeah.
Don't waste sleight of hand now.
Oh, he's wasted it. Yeah, you succeed. What would happen?
Well, so as I'm sprinkling the water all over these shadows, it's as if I'm burning them, and they're black. The black shadows are now turning into like a gray vapor, just evaporating into the air and just resettling into their original shadowy forms of just us walking around like normal people with normal hands.
Right. Normal people, normal hands. Sid, as you kind of not phase, but you find yourself transported almost into this village of sorts, this mountaintop village. You find yourself stepping into a tall and rectangular tent that's built out of rough hides, but thick and hardy logs accompany them as well. The air is just hot and acrid in here, and black smoke fills most of the tent as this bonfire blazes out and only this small hole in the roof lets out the smoke. You notice that there is a throne that's built of wood, thatch, and bramble that looks down over the fire from a mount of earth. And you notice that the arms of this chair and back are stained with dried blood. You notice something strange. As always, 6 humans are tied around the fire, their arms bound behind their backs, and a strip of cloth covering their mouths. They appear to be Shuka's people. One of them looks up towards you expectantly, their eyes widening and pleading, and above you the raven perches atop a tent post, watching you with great interest. And maybe that's where we can end today's session.
No idea.
A little bit of a
one.
different session, as you seemingly are exploring some history behind the Seeker.
I figured we'd be all wearing lederhosen and yodeling by the end of this session.
No, this is great.
All right. That was a lot.
Yeah. This is good, though.
Yeah.
Definitely.
A lot of lore, once again, specifically about the Fanes, or at least slowly learning about the lore. The good thing is you've equipped yourself with provisions, you think, for the long journey ahead. You haven't lost your horses, which is good. You didn't die.
This mountain's very dangerous right now.
You didn't die to a very powerful Wendigo type creature. Also good.
It was seemingly requested and summoned.
Wonder who could have caused that.
It's gonna be like your spirit animal that you're gonna, somehow it's your parents or something. The Wendigo is your parent.
It's the spirit of the forest, okay? Like,
yeah, there you
Spirit
go.
of the forest. Yeah.
No, the huntress is the spirit of the forest.
Well,
Maybe
that's the
Wendigo's
huntress's avatar.
This is like,
that is.
Yeah.
Mononoke style.
Yeah.
Spirit of the
Fair
forest.
enough.
Oh man.
So I think, at least in my thing, I had next session as June 7th. Does that sound correct? That's next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yas.
Yeah.
Ah, Queen.
Does anyone care if we play like, I don't know, 30 minutes earlier at least?
Like for a longer session?
Good with
No,
that.
it's just I'm gonna be starting at midnight in Spain.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe that 30 minutes will matter to me. Maybe not. Maybe
It
should...
definitely
for
will
sure.
if you're going to be going to bed at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Like I usually finish work around 6, so I could start technically an hour earlier, but I don't know if that's feasible for everybody.
Yeah, whatever you guys want.
Yeah.
I'll be.
I can do
maybe I'll take
an
a nap.
hour earlier.
Damien goes to bed at 7.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm fine with 7 still as well. I might just log in and get our banter out of the way early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can jump straight in. We can also make it a little bit of a shorter session if.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if like if you guys want to like log in maybe like 10 minutes before, and then when I jump in, like I can be here like right at 7. We're usually pretty good for getting him down.
Like, even if we just finish like this whole stone aspect, this whole trial, like, I mean, it doesn't have to be a full 4-hour session. If
Yeah,
that works.
yeah. I'll play as long as you guys go.
It's,
Yeah,
I mean,
also
we're only on the
how-
first. We're only on like the second stone.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, we haven't even finished that yet. So we got 2 more left to go.
Sid
Yeah,
may
also just-
die by the third one, and then you know it's all good.
And then we
No,
go
you're
home.
not dying. Hell no.
So I will preface to say that as I said, the journey is difficult. It is a potential that someone may not make it to
The ritual or the whole thing up.
the whole. Well,
yeah.
the whole thing,
including the
yeah.
ritual. Yeah.
Nah, we'll make it.
I'm ready. I've been ready for a
I-
year and a half for Reeves to
I
die.
know.
Every
I
week
hope
I'm
none
like,
of your characters die. That is not my hope. But I also want to run it, through to the vision of the world. So
No, Jeff. No.
Now I think my Conjure Woodland Beings was great, but also it was burning a high spell slot for
you
what's to
think
come.
you think it was needed?
Yeah.
Because the wolves themselves are CR1 creatures.
Yeah.
And so with the help of the people, they were able to kill it,
Yeah.
with your. But otherwise,
It totally
Otherwise,
seems
it would
like
have
the
ended
right thing
right
to
away.
do, but I'm starting to think about oh no, like
It
I'm gonna
hurts,
burn
yeah.
a lot more spells before this is over. So
But we still have a safe place to rest and long rest. So if we can get
Yeah.
through this and we can rest up, we'll be fresh for the morning when we get started.
mhm.
We'll have our spells back. We can choose our spells accordingly to the environment that we're going to be in.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll
Thanks,
play by ear
everyone.
too next week if you're feeling like you're playing
Oh,
and
I'll
you're
be
too tired,
fine.
Travis. Like,
Yeah, let us know.
yeah.
No, I'll be fine. I look forward to this every week, so I'll be fine.
So I did calculate it out. We are exactly, if we play next week, we are 12 sessions away.
Oh my god.
only
Jesus.
12?
Oh, we're almost in single digits.
And that is with the Monday.
Oh
That is with the
my.
Monday sessions that we've added.
Yes. Okay.
See, he says this, and then we fuck up his plans by doing
Yeah.
something stupid and starting to
We changed the whole plan.
We will have to keep moving, but that's why. So one thing I wanted to just confirm with everybody. I noticed there was a couple of dates. There was maybe one person that didn't vote, so I wanted to confirm for those days quickly.
Just count me on Mondays, unless I say otherwise. But I'm free Mondays.
So the one I wanted to check for was June 26th. I think that was you, Travis, and June 20, July 3rd as well.
That was me.
And July 31st. So I just wanted to confirm on those we have most people, but not everybody.
Yeah, I gotta. Where is that on the? Is that pinned somewhere?
Here I can. Does that work if I do that?
Do what?
I just pinned it. It should be at the. Should be in the pinned messages now.
Yeah, I was gonna look back at that. Just my life just changes.
No stress either. Like I just want to get kind of a good count.
Where are our responses to this?
At the bottom.
Jump. Okay, got it. Yeah, I'll look at this closer.
All right, chat. I'm going to call the stream here because we're just talking about personal plans and stuff like that. So
the ones that
thanks a lot for watching, and we'll be back on Wednesday.
But
bye, everybody.
C and E.